Vorpal Tales Radio Theater presents Masks of NYARLATHOTEP. In our last broadcast, our brave band of investigators survived a brush with a horror from beyond the world. They destroyed a vampire that feeds on human fat with a car tire, and confronted an evil possessing a very sick and vulnerable man. And now they plan to press on to the lost temple in the jungle to put down whatever horrors lie within. Will they all survive? Stay tuned to find out. Hi, everyone.
Hi there.
I like how you said that we suppressed an evil alien, an ancient man, by punching him to death.
No, you said it all.
The car tire.
No, car tired him to death.
Yeah.
He was so
you
tired
said,
at the end.
You said something about, what did you say? Did I hear that wrong?
That we killed the vampire that feeds on human fat via
And then he
car
said
tire.
something
And
about...
you confronted an evil possessing a sick and vulnerable man. There is no mention of punching it to death.
Right, we confronted it. We confronted it.
I confronted it with a double-barrel shotgun to the face.
See?
Not a punch.
No. I punched it.
When the next morning arrives, almost all of you stayed up late to ensure that everything was ready or that you were prepared to head off into the wilderness. You were not fatigued yet, but it would be very easy for you to become so now. You all meet for breakfast. There's a lot of coffee and a lot of eggs. It is just the four of you, as Jackson has left you a note saying to meet him at a certain address in town where he has everything ready when you're prepared. Begin!
I have to imagine it's that really awkward next day scene. We're all sitting at the table eating our eggs, drinking our coffee. No one's talking, and it's just clank, slurp, twirl.
Daniel offers.
Oh.
Eggs are good.
Route map for everyone to look at. It should be on your screens.
The sun's nice.
That's correct, Mr. Lombardi and Mr. Caldwell. The eggs are good, and the sun is nice.
Yeah.
Can you all
I
see
like
the
eggs.
route map? It's the red lines on the map you should be able to see.
Yes.
Yeah. Likely investigator route.
I don't know why nobody can find this thing. It says fucking ruins right there. Can nobody read?
No. I did not take skill points in reading.
I mean, it's right next there to Lake Titicaca.
Oh, God.
Comment.
Oh no. What?
Okay, so continue your breakfast.
The air smells good.
This place got any more coffee?
I'd rather
a lot
have
more
tea.
coffee where we're going.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could put coffee in like a tube that kept it warm.
I could use that.
Yeah.
We've already dealt with enough impossibilities for the next 24 hours. Please refrain yourself, Mr. Caldwell.
No, see, you could get like a metal tube, you put coffee in it, and like, if it was insulated, it could like keep it cold or hot forever.
If you'll all excuse me, I prepare. Deal with this.
Does anybody know what that thing was that we saw? I mean, I've seen a lot of things. I've never seen anything like that before.
I believe what you're talking about is that person was having steak and eggs for breakfast. That's new. I think.
No, I'm talking about the thing that came out of the shadows with a big hand. What was that?
Holding the tray of coffee that was delivered to us this morning, right? That's what you're referring to? Like that man had exorbitantly large hands for his stature.
We're talking about this, aren't we?
I mean, I think it's wrong to point out that he has big hands. I mean, there's nothing he can do about it. It's just, the weather's so nice. And it's a shame that dark things reach out of walls and try to grab your face in the middle of the night. It's really unfortunate. I wish we had more eggs.
I didn't sleep too good last night, so if you can get working on that tube thing with the coffee, that'd be great.
That's
I
when
did
the waiter
hear
shows
that
up with more
invented
eggs
something.
and another carafe of coffee.
Pass it over, brother.
I'd rather tea, please.
He maitre d' nods you and walks off. You know, never quite opening his eyes all the way.
Which I think begs the question, who's paying for all this now?
Sydney.
Oh,
I'm sorry. What?
you're gonna get this, right?
Sydney is funding the expedition now. Sydney
I-
and Jackson.
I was going to say. So that was actually going to be my question. What? So Larkin is
Dead.
still he died? Did he? Yeah. We
Shotgunned his
shot him in
face.
the face. That's who
And
we
then
shot
hacked
him in
his
the
body.
face. That's right. We car tired the vampire.
And that's why you're
and we
leaving this
shot
morning,
Larkin.
because they're going
If
to
these
find that
guys are-
body in about 2 hours when the maids go in there.
That's
Yeah,
right,
if
that's
these
right.
guys are talking about like murdering people, you see Daniel do a spit take with hot coffee, like, oh,
No. I wouldn't have said that out loud. I even was trying to remember what happened to Larkin specifically.
Or no, I take
okay.
that back. I was wrong. The cops already know because
Senorita.
I can't remember her name. Was like, you kill a man, I call police, and you ran. Because of the
Did she
shotgun.
ever really get the police?
You ran.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
But
Double
are they
shotgun
just
this
like...
guy's face and in one of the hotel rooms, like,
You don't know what the police is like in Peru, but you figure they're going to come for you eventually.
yeah, we gotta get out of Dodge.
All right, but Elias is still working with us, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Elias is
okay.
the one that pushed you to continue the Discovery Tour because the temple obviously hides a greater evil. He
Right.
doubts
That
there's only
Jackson
one
Elias
fat-sucking
guy.
vampire.
He's kind of a nice guy, that Jackson Elias guy.
Well, no, I can say for these weird cultist people, I'm taking that shotgun with me. You hear me?
I believe that would be a wise move, Mr. Lombardi.
It might be
Also
beneficial
weapons,
to
right?
get more weapons, actually.
She's got a point.
Well, there becomes a moment of being over-prepared in regard to something of that nature. We all currently do have a means of self-defense, and any more might put a burden on our ability to traverse such perilous terrain.
But we gotta get out of here soon. I mean, before the cops start looking around, you know?
That's correct, Mr. Lombardi. Perhaps we should get a bit faster and meet up with Mr. Elias.
We I'll take care of the leftovers, you know? That's like taking like the consolidating all the food into one basket and like one big napkin, and then I just fold the napkin over and tie
Hobo
it.
style.
You know? We gotta pack and go. Let's get out of here.
I will
What
even
kind of-
say
what
that
kind of thing-
say that the napkin you used is red and white checkered.
Aw. What kind of thing do they serve the coffee in exactly?
A carafe. It looks
Like-
like a vase to you. Looks like a metal vase to you.
Mhm.
Vase.
I take that.
They kind of look at you and they mark something,
Doing?
and then they mark something down on Sydney's bill, but they say nothing
Even
to you.
I'm not that crazy.
They say nothing to you, but they're going to charge Sydney for that.
I'm sorry. $35 for
Outrageous.
tariff.
35 in 1920? That's like
Right?
$1 million.
That's $1 million.
Fuck this expedition. We're rich.
That's your rent for 5 months.
I know, right?
Charges, unfortunately, but we're on a time-sensitive mission. Yeah, I just, we took the night before to prepare like our resources and pack up and be ready to go as quickly in the morning as possible. Eat, have coffee, collect our thoughts. But other than that, grab our guns, grab our gear. Kind
And the
of
scene
meet
fades
Elias.
to black. So, on your original route, you were going to follow the red dot from Lima down the coastline and then up to Puno and then down to the ruins. However, You were not going to Puno anymore because that was Larkin's stop. And his reasons for needing to go there were nebulous at best in the first place. You feel like perhaps picking up more vampires would have been the goal. So you're basically going to go from the coast straight across the highlands to the ruins.
Oh my.
We're walking across the center of Peru.
What riding? There's no vehicles getting through this terrain because it would be too hard and impossible to move the gas. There's no.
I was gonna say
you have pack mounts.
We're going through the Andes.
Oh shit.
You're going down the coast to bypass the Andes, and then at Varaquipa you're going to cut south across the highlands to the ruins. So you're sticking to the coastline to avoid the Andes. You are going to go up into the heights, though. The highlands are really high. They are high highlands in Peru.
Oh wow, is that what that means? Okay, cool.
All right.
So you're not going to be climbing with picks and ladder, but it's going to be at altitude and it's going to be rough terrain.
Tyler, would you say that we're traveling with alpaca?
You are, in fact, traveling with alpacas.
Alpaca
There's nothing
my
wrong with the
bags.
alpacas, though. They're fine.
You have to get Sarah colors.
Sarah must watch,
You can watch
the
it.
Color Out of Space, yes.
Get off the jokes.
Should I be afraid?
Very.
I wouldn't eat while you're watching it, but otherwise it should be great. The first leg of your journey across the coastline until you actually get to elevation is pretty uneventful. Takes several days. But then when you get to the highlands, there's one long day of nothing but ascent, and at the end of that day, you started out this journey tired, got more tired, and then went to altitude. Now you have to deal with altitude sickness. All
You know what the
investigators,
remedy for that is?
you can work on that if you want after this. Each investigator, please, needs to make a con roll.
Yeah. Bam!
Good
Nailed
job.
it.
Can you luck trait rolls like this?
Holy
Yes.
shit.
The only thing you cannot luck is pushed rolls or rolls with bonus dice.
Okay.
Alright now.
Sydney, are you going to luck point that?
I am. I'm gonna spend 2 luck points to make that a success.
Who am I missing?
No, that's okay.
Oh,
Me.
I'm missing yes. Hazel.
Oh, crud.
Ooh.
Hazel is suffering from altitude sickness, the symptoms of which
Holy
include
shit.
extreme tiredness,
Oh,
headaches, dizziness, shortness of breath, and nausea. For most of the time, it's just an irritation. However, if there's a high degree of physical exertion required in any potential upcoming scenes, all of your difficulties will require hard rolls.
I know what she needs. Coca plant.
Yes, but
Lots
would
of
Dan know
people.
that?
Right underneath your tongue, you're good to go.
Would Dan know about
That's
cocaine?
correct.
My
If any of the
stepmother,
investigators
actually.
can reasonably say they would know that, I will allow you to make a roll to recall that.
Oh,
Talk to those
man.
cocaleros.
Well, I do have Spanish language. Maybe I'd ask about.
Yeah.
You have 3 or 4 people with you that are helping with the pack animals and carry the burdens and guides that are locals.
Cool.
What's a South American version of a Sherpa?
Good question.
A what?
A Sherpa.
What are Peruvian guides called?
Sherpas are like Himalayan mountain guides. So I was curious
Oh.
if there's South American versions of
I don't know. Anybody can find that, you can let us know. Doesn't
Well,
immediately come up for me.
Yeah, so I was gonna say
Google.
because Hazel could very much ask them probably. Yeah.
Make a social roll for me. Hazel.
Me? Oh.
Anything but intimidate, because they wouldn't respond to that.
Why would I want to intimidate them into
Tell me
telling
about the cocaine.
Oh my gosh. Alright, where is that?
Charm, persuade, fast talk.
Oh boy. Let's
Or
see, which one do I wanna
psychology.
use?
To figure
have
out
30
which of
in
them is most
psychology.
likely to help you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do psychology. That's my best one.
Okay.
Alright. Ah, I'm forgetting about the other sheets that we've been using. Yeah, of course.
Would you like to pay some luck points to offset that?
Yeah.
The guide
Holy
does in
shit.
fact inform you that if you find this specific looking plant, which seems to be everywhere, and chew it until it's a little soft and then leave it in your mouth, it may alleviate the symptoms.
All right.
He says you only need like half a leaf, but you feel like shit. How many leaves do you eat?
Oh no.
Roll 1d4. That's how many.
Oh god. Do you want me to roll 1d?
If that's what you think you would do. What would Hazel do? Would Hazel err on the side of caution or be like, no, this is like aspirin, I'm taking the whole bottle?
No, it's like a bay leaf.
She'd
I'll put it in my-
probably do double
Okay.
what they
Double
suggest. Because she
Nice.
does take risks, but she's not like crazy.
You
One
feel
on
a
top
lot
of a
better and you don't
mountain.
know why these guys are taking so long. You can make a lot more time. Why would you need to sleep? You can stop for dinner for an hour, but then you got to keep going. You feel great.
So,
Not enough to get high, but you are pumped.
I'll have whatever she's having in my coffee, please.
point of order. Thermoses existed in the 1920s.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Hazel posted
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, did she have a
Apparently,
stick?
they began in 1904 as a company.
Oh, damn.
Once you get into the heights and go into the highlands, you are told it should take about 3 days to get the 70 miles from where you're at to the ruins. The landscape is a mixture of grassy plains, hills, valleys, and mountain passes. On day 1, as you travel, why don't you have everyone make a spot hidden roll?
Oh, man.
Why don't you have everyone make a spot hidden roll?
Yeah.
That was a
why don't
combination of me
you?
saying, why don't you roll it?
Boom. Got it.
Oh. I super failed. I think Sean's only rolling one die. It's not fair.
Hard success. Wow.
That's
I
awesome.
finally got a success.
Sydney notices nothing, but the rest of you all see an Andean condor on the top of a ledge perching over its nest, and you're all like, that's so amazing, that's great, and Clive is taking pictures, and Sydney's like, I can't see it, what are you talking about?
I believe y'all are just I believe you are just fooling with me, and I do not appreciate it. If you'll excuse me,
It's a rather large bird. If you can't see it, you're rather blind.
Alright, so next time we see flocking alpaca across the plain. And when Sydney's like, I can't see it, just be like, yeah.
Clive, photography roll, see if you get a good shot you can sell.
I don't.
Oh, look at that, that's a
No.
perfect shot.
Dope.
Wow.
Time Magazine,
I was
National
gonna say,
Geographic
Yeah,
cover.
that's a magazine cover shot
quality.
there.
when was
All
National
right.
Geographic first published?
The first night arrives and you set up camp. It falls below freezing here at night. You break out the blankets. What do you do as you make camp?
That mixed a little bit of whiskey with my coffee, you know, keep you warm.
I sit with my machete next to me.
That's a good idea, actually. I'd like to sleep with my machete near me as well.
I would like to do navigate to make sure that we are staying on track and.
Go ahead and roll
so-
it with one bonus die because you have guides.
Nice.
Nice.
No bonus die needed.
Yeah.
You are in fact on track using the best available route because of the topography.
Okay. Cool. Just making
You
sure
finish
we're
your
not-
meal of beans and salted meat. What do you do then?
It's been a very hard few days, and obviously a lot is weighing on our minds. But if possible, I believe I'll turn in early this evening and try to catch up on some rest.
Dan, you were in the war. How did you manage the nights?
He holds up his mug, half full of whiskey, half full of coffee. Just like this.
I was thinking more of like posting up patrols or guards for the
Oh,
night?
yeah, well, I can take watch if you want me to, boss. No problem. Yeah, sure.
You know, of
I
all the
failed to
things
see-
I would trust him to do.
I fail to see how whiskey can help you with the evening watch.
Yeah, it'll keep you warm, you know?
While the coffee keeps you alert. Correct, Mr. Lombardi?
Now,
He's got it. You got it, Chief. You got it.
I'm going to say of all the things that man is immune to, whiskey's probably one of them.
Sydney goes to bed with no concern of watch or participating.
I'll try to stay up with Dan for a bit, just to
How long's a bit?
keep him company.
Give me hours.
I don't know. Like, what's the standard like sleep cycle in the system?
Because you're traveling anytime after dark, you can try to sleep. So this time of year, probably from 9ish p.m. till 6ish a.m. it's dark.
I'll stay with them till a little after midnight or so,
Okay.
and then try to get some sleep.
Hazel.
How's it going, Mr. Caldwell? You want to shoot the breeze with me?
Yeah, sure. Sounds
Um,
great.
Hazel will also take a shift and forcibly wake up Sydney to join her
What time should your shift begin, Hazel?
as soon as theirs ends.
What time
would
do you
think.
want your shift to end, Hobo Dan?
I'll do whatever you know. I don't know what a military shift would look like for guard duty. Maybe like 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, something like that. Whatever.
Okay.
So we try to split it as even as possible and get full rests, for lack of a better term.
So, Clive, you head to bed around midnight. You shared a bunch of fascinating stories with Dan, and you passed that flash back and forth. You feel pretty good.
Mhm.
Dan, make a con roll
Sure.
Oh no.
with a penalty die. You had a lot of
Oh,
whiskey
no.
with Clive.
Oh
Oh, no.
Ah.
Hazel. What do I want that to be?
Should
Doom.
I push it? Not wake up the next morning. I'm so tired.
no.
Go away.
What do I want it to be? Spot hidden seems too easy.
Uh-oh.
Oh god.
Let's do power.
Oh
Do a
crap.
power roll to
Oh.
see how alert your subconscious is to the fact that something's wrong. No one's awake.
Oh, power.
Oh, power.
All right.
Oh, they're too drunk to wake
I
you
made
up.
it.
Oh
No, not you. Not you, Hazel.
Oh.
Damn
Oh,
it.
no.
No, the failed con roll was Dan the hobo falling asleep after midnight when Clive leaves him.
Should I
Right.
push it? Should I push the con roll?
Should I?
I say
put my power
yes.
roll?
I don't
I
know.
will always say yes.
Not a good
Oh.
consensus.
Because if you don't push it now, you will regret it for the rest of your life.
No
I
Your
already
pressure or
son will
anything.
grow up and be like,
I,
Wait.
I knocked it out of the park earlier in the other session. Push it.
Wait, look, Hazel, did you push yours?
I did.
Oh, too late. Hazel pushed
Oh,
hers.
shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
You can still try pushing yours too, though, Dan, if you want.
I don't know if I want to do that. I don't feel that lucky.
"Nah, she pushed hers.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, save yours for something important.
It's too bad. The hangover I would have given you would have been legendary if you'd failed. All
I
right,
need some of that coca plant.
Hazel. Listen check.
Oh man.
Power. Yeah. 6 cents, huh?
Aha, there you are, listen. Oh god, the music changed.
Oh no.
Would you like to push the listen roll?
You think?
Ooh.
Click it, finger. Click it. Oh god. Okay.
That's so low.
Oh, look at that!
What?
Hazel, your
Mark
sense-
that skill.
Your spider sense tingles. You've invented spider sense 40 years early.
Wow.
30 years early?
Wow.
Whatever the 60s is from the 20s. And, math is hard, Steve, shut up. And,
Wait,
you come to groggily, and you realize the fire's burned down to cinders. And there's a hobo in the camp that isn't Dan. It looks like some guy dressed in rags, and then long matted brown hair and filthy ancient rags, until you hear the clank of metal and realize he's got a breastplate on with Spanish. That's a vampire! Oh god! It's feeding on one of your guides.
Oh,
What?
I make as much ruckus as I can to wake up everybody.
Listen checks.
Don't we want to fail these listen checks technically? Oh shit!
Oh, I
That would be a no,
extreme
Clive.
made that shit. Oh my god. Extreme.
Sydney, you were having a pleasant dream about feather pillows and...
No. Because of all the evil that's been happening, Sydney's actually having a terrible nightmare he can't wake up from. So it's something along the lines of capital gains taxes, inheritance taxes.
Valid.
The Great Depression.
There's going to be a stock market crash.
The stock market crash.
You will not remember this dream upon awakening.
He'll just be in a bad mood.
The rest of you wake up to hear Hazel freaking out about the vampire in the camp. The vampire
Shotgun
looks
up.
up, sees you yelling Hazel, and runs.
Right in the back.
That way! He went that
Dan.
way! We have to follow!
Dan, take your drunken shot with a penalty die. If you
Oh,
crit
God.
fail, it will be amazing.
I duck.
It will be amazing. But I didn't.
Oh!
Penalty die.
Ba-boom.
Penalty
Ba-boom.
die.
No. No.
Oh, I still made it.
Oh, you still made it.
Yeah.
You
Bing.
think you hit it. The shadow gets knocked deeper into the darkness.
Oh.
What? I'm awake. Start charging in after. Reload.
Everyone's awake now and panicking because that guide is super dead.
I was gonna say, does a gunshot wake me up despite
Yes.
super failure?
And
Okay.
everyone yelling
Dead.
and screaming.
Damn well better.
Do we have more guides? Is that the only
You had
guide?
4. You got 3 left. However, should you lose too many, they will run away from your cursed asses.
Am I rolling damage? Or is it pointless?
Only if somebody's going to go try to go into the darkness, the deep darkness of the Andean highlands to find the monster.
I'm good.
Oh.
Do we have torches?
No. You could make some
No.
maybe, but your fire went down. It's just embers. There was nobody there to stoke it.
Do we
Yeah.
have
You guys
British
have a lantern?
torches?
Look around.
Somebody does have a lighter, yes, I'm sure.
I got a lighter, but I prefer a lantern.
Well, in England, torches are flashlights.
Oh,
Right.
no, you do not have any electric torches.
Dang.
I'll try to get the fire going again.
You have... That's actually wrong. You do have 1 electric torch for the temple, but batteries in this day and age don't last for crap, so...
Oh, God.
It's packed
I-
away. In other words, it would take you just as long to get that out as it would be to make a makeshift torch. It'd be the same amount of time.
I start trying to find this fucker. I go out there after I reload. And
Mr.
With a
Lombardi,
torch or
Mr.
without a
Lombardi.
torch?
I will quickly try to. Like, we didn't bring anything to make light, like in an emergency, like actual like stick torches or anything that we can make. I have survival if I need
Flares?
The
to like.
problem is you gotta restoke the fire.
Hmm.
You have no source of fire. A lighter won't light a torch unless you have pitch on the torch. So you either have to get the electric torch out, cover
Make
an
a big
existing
torch.
torch in pitch, or rekindle the fire. All 3 of which will take the same amount of time.
I said I was trying to rekindle the
Yeah.
fire.
All right, so we'll let him do that.
I'm just looking around. Like, is there only one? Was there one? Or
Just one moment. We'll,
It's a
I
very
only
dark
saw
night.
one.
It is a new moon. You can't see nothing beyond the radius of the camp.
Dang.
You restoke the fire, and you light the torches, and now you could head out. but it's been 5 minutes.
I don't think we should follow.
That thing killed one of our guides.
Does anyone have?
What if we're next?
If we are best to lay in wait and be prepared.
Oh, an ambush. I like this idea. Yeah.
Jackson
Let's do
walks
that.
over to the four of you and says, "What happened? I thought we had a watch rotation."
Yeah, we did. And then this thing snuck up out of nowhere and killed Emilio.
Who was on watch?
I was awake. I didn't. This thing just came out of nowhere.
Does anyone contradict him?
No. Wait, who's asking this question?
Jackson.
Jackson.
I personally was not assigned to watch, so
That's all right, Sydney. I was going to
didn't-
wake you regardless.
Didn't stay up long.
No one
enough.
contradicts Dan, so Jackson accepts what he says and says, "We'll have to do double watches tomorrow night. This is terrible tragedy." And he goes and helps bury the body.
I hope
Wait, do we need to burn a body after it's been?
He tells
What are
you
you
that
talking
he
about?
tells you that the girl who was killed, the body you discovered in the museum, did not turn into a vampire. She rotted like a normal human. Therefore, it apparently does not work like traditional vampire lore.
Curious.
Little-
I
it's
rather
the thing,
prefer
they
the
try to eat
Slavic
your ear.
vampire.
Yeah.
What is less disgusting than this? Jackson
Speak
agrees
for
with
yourself, lady. Vampire, no, that thing. It's like that thing. The only kind of thing I want to see like that in the middle of the night is a dead one.
Obviously.
you. The rest of the night is uneventful. You all wake up in the morning and have a somber breakfast.
yet another one.
The next day, as you travel, go ahead and make spot hidden rolls again.
This is like during the day.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
No one notices any fascinating wildlife on the second day.
It's such a bummer.
Including the
Like we're
vampire.
being followed.
Right.
As you were traveling, somewhere midway through the second day after you stopped for a brief lunch, you're heading over some hills, and you hear the sounds of gunfire ahead from over the brow of the next hill. You all rush forward to see what is happening. Sounds like rifle
Nope.
cracks.
Mm-mm.
Perhaps we should not run into the
Hello.
vampire.
I look to the guides. I'm like, is there something happening over here that we should know about?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
speak Spanish?
Fat vampires?
No, I do not.
I do.
They
Speak
look at
French.
you. They look at
I
you and
do.
blink.
I ask them if
check-
there's
I
anything
just-
going on that we should know about.
We can go see, ma'am, and they run ahead. And they start gesturing and yelling, saying, "They need help! The poor farmers!" From the brow of the
What?
hill.
Oh
Probably
shit!
You hear more
What the
rifle
hell?
shots crack
vampires.
off.
We are ill prepared for this, but I trust our guides. Let's go help.
You run up to the
Grab my
rise of the
machete.
hill, and you see two human figures about a half a mile away on the far side of the hill. One of them is on the ground, and the other is leaning over him with a rifle aiming off in the distance, firing shots.
Can,
One on the ground looks hurt.
Can alpaca
Um,
gallop?
I will say yes.
Riding into battle on a llama.
Oh wait, one's on the ground and another's shooting.
Can I do
He's covering
first
the guy
aid?
on the ground with a rifle, like he's firing the rifle at something away from the guy on the ground.
Can I spot what they're shooting at?
No,
Who they're shooting at?
too far away to see. You
Can
could
I
barely-
go do first aid?
You could. They're half a mile away. You could rush over there.
Do the guides have a binocular or anything like that? Anything you use to spot?
Jackson has a pair of binoculars. He's looking through them. He doesn't say anything. Except,
Hey, let me get those
except,
binocs for a second.
except he says, "That guy's bleeding."
I gallop towards the people.
Clive
Go
jumps
get
onto
him
an
some help.
alpaca and grabs Hazel and flings her on behind him as he heroically charges down the hill on an alpaca.
With machete, just like
Like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Jax, let me borrow those binocs. I want to see what they're shooting at.
Jackson says, "I can't see it." He hands you the binoculars. You also see nothing.
What?
Can we be playing the Ride of the Valkyries?
if I had it.
A lot of them.
The problem,
I can't.
Daniel,
Huh.
is the hills. Like you can
Oh.
see, you can't see into the dips.
Is there a higher
No.
vantage point? Damn it.
Well, yeah, but I mean you're miles from it.
Oh shit. Okay.
I rolled a successful first aid for when we get there.
Hey. Nice.
Nice.
I start rushing down there. Like I try to go in the direction that they seem to be firing at, like to see if I catch a glimpse of whatever it is or whoever it is that they're shooting at.
Okay.
Wolves or something like that out here. I don't know.
When you get there, Hazel and Clive, you see that it looks like a father and a son. The son is the one who appears to be on the ground. His shirt is torn and covered in blood with a gaping wound in his chest. And the father was firing the rifle. When you come charging towards him, he raises the rifle at you and shouts, "Who are you? Stop there or I'll shoot you! Vile
He says that in
monsters!"
Spanish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I reply in Spanish? We come to help.
Yes, but do you tell Clive to stop? Clive does not speak the language. However,
Oh.
Clive, you do speak rifle pointed at your face.
I do. I stop and I sort of lower my.
Go ahead, Hazel.
Roll for Spanish. Yes.
No, you don't have to roll Spanish. Roll Charm, Fast Talk, or Persuade to talk him down. And then tell us what you say to him.
Let me see. Oh, good lord. Guys, be prepared for doom.
Doom.
Tell us what you say before you roll. Maybe you'll get a bonus die.
I let him know that we come to assist. Our guides told us that we needed to help you. And I see that your son is hurt, but I have first aid skills and I can help.
You can have a bonus die for offering first aid for the son.
Yes.
Nice.
Hey.
Hey.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice! Didn't even need it. He puts down the rifle and swings it back the other way and says, "Vile vampires! Fat-sucking devils!" You look the way he's pointing the rifle, it's rolling hills. He says, "I chased them off, helped my son!" Now, you already made the first aid roll, so you were able to stop the bleeding. This attack was stopped early. The son is not dying or dead.
This is during the day, right?
Infected.
Yes.
Oh god,
Wow.
we're doomed.
Infested with these assholes.
I do translate for the party members that it was a vampire that did this, and I've stopped the bleeding, but there can only be so much done. And that he
thanks you profusely, but he notices that you have, arches an eyebrow, mount animals? And you could get him back to his home quicker, so he could aid his son. And he could recompense you by giving you a safe place to sleep for the night, because obviously these hills are no longer safe.
What time is it?
Early afternoon.
And how far away is your homestead?
He says it's several miles, which is why he doesn't want to try to carry his son, still wounded.
Put the son on the back of the alpaca.
If you do this, you will not be able to chase the vampires, but you will be heroically saving this kid's life, because he might die on the way. If you don't, you might be able to catch the vampires. It's one or the other, not
split up.
both. Or you could split the party.
No. 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 No.
Split the party.
I'm just securing the perimeter then. Make sure there's none of these vampires are crawling around out there.
Does anyone have track?
No.
And if you do, it'll be a hard roll, because these highlands are not conducive to tracking this time of year unless it's raining, which it's not.
Although apparently I had made a track roll successfully somehow.
Yeah,
with 10%
that was when you were
Can't
trying
believe
to chase D. Mendoza down the road before you ran him over.
I'm a city tracker, not a wilderness tracker, you know.
I say help the dude and
Yeah,
post that
perhaps
his house.
perhaps we're not equipped to track the vampires through this terrain. But we can help these people.
Okay.
I quite agree.
It takes up the rest of your day, but he is indebted to you, and he thanks you greatly, and you feel very heroic. You may all have one bonus die to use at any point during this session. Or the next, but it will not last beyond the next session.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And no rolls are needed for the night, because you have a house with sturdy doors. and you are safe through the night, and you all sleep.
Does he asking the farmer through Hazel? Does this sort of thing happen often? Like, what does he know about the vampires? Because
he has always heard rumors of such things, but never thought they were real until now. He's heard word from other farmers in the area that attacks are becoming more frequent. It's like something has awoken them. These are bad times.
No, it used to happen in the old days.
These are ill omens.
In the old days, they used to round up a posse and then they go ride out together and find these things and shoot them. That's what they used to do.
Yeah, we don't all want to die fighting supernatural creatures in that evil, vile, cursed place you travel to.
Yeah, that's why you do it in a group, you know?
What if it was the only way?
He tells you, you're a group, you're doing it. We thank you.
What does he mean by the evil, vile place?
The temple. You're close enough now that he knows of it.
Does he know anything other than a temple exists?
He's never been farther than the plateau that lets you overlook the valley. No one has because it's cursed.
Oh, can you see it from this plateau?
Yeah, which is on your right.
Oh, okay.
Would they know any more, lore-wise, about the vampires than the scholar does?
I can give you everything he would tell you.
Yes.
Stand by.
I also specifically, does this guy, he said we're getting close to the temple and
you're about a day away when you start out day 3, yeah.
Is this the farmer we heard about back in town, or does he know that farmer?
Do you ask him that?
Yes, I would ask, are you aware of, I forget his name, I'm sorry.
Psychology rolls as you ask him.
Who are you asking about?
The farmer that Larkin said he got the artifacts from.
Oh, yeah. Holy cow.
Extreme success. You all can roll in case you succeed to check it, but Clive is able to tell everyone that when the farmer looks at you with blank stare and you describe at length and have a 10-minute conversation about it, he guarantees you no such person has ever existed here. Larkin lied.
So we were lied to.
You have no idea where Larkin got the artifacts from, but it wasn't this imaginary farmer.
Got it.
I remain unsurprised.
Is it possible he got them? Where did we find? Oh, we found that thing. Okay. Wow, the gold thing was in the museum, and he had rando artifacts.
He had a cup and what was the other thing?
Pendant.
Pendant.
The pendant with
a
pendant
and a cup.
Yeah.
He was talking, so Ernesto Molo, the old guy in the Highland, the alpaca farmer, was bullshit.
Yes.
Total.
Do we have the artifacts, right?
Sure.
Well, I guess he's never been to the temples, so he doesn't. He wouldn't know.
So, what he tells you is everything he knows about the Karasiri, which he doesn't call Karasiri. He calls them, try not to laugh, Pistaco.
Pistaco?
P like Paul, I-S-H, taco.
Pistaco.
Pistaco.
He said they seem to be mythological boogeymen figures of this region. According to folklore, it's a monster-like man, often a stranger, and often a white man, who seeks out unsuspecting natives to kill them and abuse them. The legends seem to date back to the time the Spaniards began arriving. Apparently they steal the body fat for cannibalistic purposes, or cut them up, and fry it as chacarrones and eat it, because they're gross. The word derives from the root word pishte, which means to behead, or cut into slices.
Didn't we found something? I vaguely remember. We found an account of a conquistador or something somewhere, didn't we?
D. Mendoza was a conquistador. You got the record of that, yes. Yeah. I will put that back up so you can see it.
Yeah. And he said it's mostly white people?
This one? Yeah, this is the one. The record of the guy himself.
I'm going to ask a question.
So,
I do want to ask a question. In this context, of a Spaniard conquistador coming into South America, natives would consider that a white person, correct?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure. So I just wanted to ask, in the context of a Spanish conquistador coming over to South America, in that context, would that person to them be considered a white person that fits the context of this vampire?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the Spanish of the time were pretty white compared to
Were
the
white.
natives, yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
I'd
That's what I
like
just
to
wanted to make
point.
sure.
I'd like
What's
to
that?
point out to our crew that the name comes from an origin of to behead, and I think perhaps we ought not to take that lightly.
Monsters are gonna be monsters.
Do we have a do we technically have a copy of this copy thing?
That I have up on the screen for you? Yes.
Yeah.
You have
Okay.
you have
So-
that book with that note with that diary entry in it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So Clive posits the theory that the gold he's carrying came from the temple and is actually what the conquistadors pried out or got from the temple.
Oh,
And-
the two gold pieces are gold from the temple?
No, not the artifacts. Clive's actually carrying
The
that
gold.
chunk of gold etched
Okay.
stuff that burned out Desmond
D.
Mendoza.
Mendoza, the thing that killed D. Mendoza. It's that
Right,
stuff,
there was
yeah.
a gold hunk that burned
Does anyone
him.
have a cult? Points in a cult.
Somebody earned a point. Somebody earned a point.
I have
Cthulhu.
5.
I earned a point in Cthulhu mythos, but that's
Not the same, yeah. In
Yeah.
that case,
A cult.
let's
Oh.
have
I
I
have
have
5
5.
points in occult. Oh,
Everybody has.
yeah, that's the default. Clive, let's have you make a knowledge roll to see if you can put this together.
A knowledge roll?
Yes.
Idea roll.
What kind of knowledge roll?
Sorry, intelligence.
Oh, intelligence.
Yeah.
the knowledgey kind.
Oh, look
Hey.
at that!
Fuck you.
Nice.
Fuck. Nice.
So, if this is from the temple, and it melted the vampire, and there's suddenly been a lot more vampires, if we put this back, are we gonna reseal some kind of ward that kept them in?
Which, yeah, that's my thought, and that
Yeah.
the temple creates the vampires, and the vampires have some connection to the temple, and they're like doing something at the temple. I don't know. They suck fat out. I don't know. They
Bordello
feed it to
blood.
something.
But wait. Sorry. Yes, Mr. Caldwell, that's quite an interesting theory. Perhaps there could be some connection between the fact that when outsiders came and removed treasures from the temple, the onset of vampirism, or these beheaded ones, started. Specifically, calls to the outsiders. So perhaps they themselves were cursed to become these creatures, having removed that gold.
Well, I think the way you get cursed is you get the thing in your ear, like what tried to happen to Hazel.
Yeah, it burns real good though. We don't like
Yes.
fire.
So some
We're gonna need a lot
combination
more
of some combination of temple, gold, vampires, and worms
Yeah, worms that go in your ear
that go in your
and then
ear,
make
yes.
you
Earworms.
eat fat.
Make
yeah.
you eat
Yes.
that. Yes.
Yes.
A
So
simple and well-known tale.
plug your orifices.
Certainly.
The night passes uneventfully, but you all sleep fitfully after these revelations. The next day, you're traveling. Spot hidden rolls again.
Aw, I wanted to talk to the dad again.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to bring up to him that his son was bitten and not killed, so be careful, just in case it might have somehow infected his son.
How would I know?
And-
How could I find out?
Rub the gold.
We can touch the gold to him.
I stand
Clive.
by with my shotgun.
Oh no! Oh
I kind of turned to everybody and like, "Are you sure?" Because if it burns him,
hmm
this dad's gonna be real fucking sad, and he's got a shotgun. So
So do I, pal.
He'll also, be thankful that he's not going to be killed in the night.
Fair enough. I poke him with the gold stick.
You pull out the piece of gold, and as you approach him, he screams out in pain, and you watch his abdomen squirm.
No.
Something is pushing against the skin from inside his abdomen, trying to get away from the gold.
Can we see?
my.
Can I?
Sanity
can
rolls!
Oh.
As it sinks in, the worm is inside of him, rooting around in his guts and trying to get away from the gold.
That's not normal. Yep.
Son of
Critical failure. Oh my god. Yikes.
Wait,
nobody
Somebody
made
get a
it.
critical failure? Oh. So
Oh
Clive,
no!
we
Clive,
all
would you like to
fail.
spend enough fate points, Clive, to make that not a critical failure?
I thought you couldn't
Which
spend
is how
anything
many?
on
Oh, you're right. You can't
Sanity,
because
yeah.
it's a sanity roll.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Would you like to use your free bonus die you got for saving the sun?
Oh, hey.
I mean, sure.
You're gonna, because it's been so close to your temporary madness. If you crit fail and you get too many sanity point loss,
Hey,
you'll
made
gain an actual derangement.
Fuck that. I am not
You succeed.
insane. I made that full fucking roll.
Clive, you lose 1 point of sanity. The rest of you roll a d3.
Oh no!
Oh no. I lose 2.
Daniel loses 2.
Oh.
Hazel loses 3.
Oh
And
man!
Sydney loses 1.
Oh,
Hazel.
that ain't right. Oh.
Hazel, that's enough short-term temporary low insanity for you to finally get that derangement.
Oh goody!
Hey.
I'm so
Derangement
excited!
town.
Yay!
This is
Addicted to cocoa leaves now. Thanks.
Does anyone have medicine?
I've got first
Not-
aid, but that's it.
Not
got
first
wisdom.
aid, but medicine.
Medicine is what you will need to cut this out of the kid successfully, yes.
That I was gonna say we're gonna have to do
my.
surgery on this kid.
Oh my. Yeah.
Alright, Hazel. Would you like to choose, or would you like to roll for your fate?
Always roll.
Oh, always roll? I don't know. Yeah, why not? We'll see what happens.
1d10.
Had I
Okay.
succeeded, I would have tried to use
This, by the
fast
way,
talk or something.
this, by the way, will be a mild permanent effect on you. Because you've
Mild
lost a lot. Because you've lost a lot of sanity points. Yes.
Okay.
No.
4 is paranoia. Or I'm sorry. Yes, paranoia of one thing of your choice. Mild paranoia. Something that should be related to worms and fat-sucking vampires.
Makes sense, yeah.
Gold.
Larva.
She's afraid of gold.
Well,
Or it could be, yes, she's paranoid of not carrying gold.
Oh, that's actually a good one. I like that one.
Wow.
Gold charm, gold lucky coin. You gotta have some or you will panic.
Yeah,
I was
just gonna say
contemplating-
she has to have a gold thing now for overall time.
I like that idea, but I was also contemplating vines. Every time they touch me, freak out a little.
For this campaign, that's pretty good. Because for a while you won't even notice, and then suddenly they'll be everywhere.
Oh no.
So, let's roll a. Do you have a D2 in there?
You can do /R space 1d2, and it will in fact do it. Which is 1, which is 2.
1 is gold, 2 is vines.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. For the gold.
Hazel is not currently wearing any gold jewelry. Please roleplay
Hazel-
this.
Hazel snags the gold piece and shoves it down her bra.
Hey, we need that right now.
That gold
we gotta
piece.
Get this thing out of the kid.
That gold piece, by the way, is about the size of a tall softcover book. It's about that thick. Big.
One edge in one side of the bra and the other edge in the other side of the bra.
Braziers.
And I now have chest armor.
We're
You
getting
can't have it back. I need it.
Wait, we needed to get the monster
No.
out of the kid.
No,
You can't.
I looked at the father, and I'm like,
Pry it from my gold dead breasts.
I
Miss
mean,
Murphy, Miss Murphy, I'm always for the acquisition of goods, but there's some more pressing issues right now.
Fine, I'll carry the gold and all will be fine. It'll be just
found
fine.
it.
It'll be fine.
Mr. Caldwell, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Miss Murphy
Will
is
it?
trustworthy. We need a doctor, sir. I looked at the father, and I also speak Spanish, so I ask him, like, is there a doctor? Is there a local doctor? Or anyone that you go to for medicine?
Not within 20 miles.
El Medico. 20 miles.
On alpaca.
Oh God, it'll take 14 days to travel.
Who's got a pocket knife and a good roll?
I
I looked
have worked
looked
on
to us.
machinery.
I-
The human body is just a fleshy
What you could
machinery.
do is decide who's got the best roll, and that person's got that bonus die.
I
Can
have
we
one
give
in
bonus
10
die to
minutes.
someone else?
If it's one that I give you, yes. If it's one you get from a vote, no.
I have a 1 in medicine because that is the default, and I assume that's what everyone has.
Yeah, same.
Well, we all have 30s.
Nobody has higher than 30. I thought somebody put points in it.
I did, but
That was
up
the
to 30.
stash we just
Oh.
had.
Yeah, like we all put up to 30 apparently. So
So,
Copycats.
I have 40. I have 40 first aid.
you're at
Why
that.
didn't you
You're the
say
roller.
something?
that's what
I'm
we were
actually
trying to talk
surprised. I
about
didn't
before
know.
the roll.
I didn't think I had anything. Okay. Yeah.
It's from that one time.
Shit.
It's from that one time you had to pull bullets out of your fellow soldiers.
Peeled that guy
chest.
off the razor wire. It was a bad day.
Yeah.
Peeled him off.
So,
I'm
one
gonna
of
need
you,
that gold lady.
One of
Come
you,
on, I need it to get the monster out.
One of you can aid him, but only
No.
one.
Here, and I toss her my lighter. Like, stand ready. When that thing comes out, we gotta burn it with fire.
Or perhaps
All
a
right.
gold piece.
One of you can aid him. Now, here's how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Whoever rolls aid, if they fail, they give Eric a penalty die. If they succeed, I'm sorry, if they hard fail, if the failure is anything less than half of the 30%, so like if you roll 60% or higher, you give Eric a penalty die. If you roll between 30 and 60, nothing changes for Eric. If you roll under 30, he gets a second bonus die. One
Do
of you
I
can
kind
roll.
of have to help since I won't give up the gold, or does that not alter anything?
Definitely
If
a
you-
factor.
If you use the gold bar, Eric's hard roll will become a normal roll because you can force the worm into a certain spot, like a magnet.
I'll do it, as long as I get to keep it.
So first, you do the what do you call it?
First
Assist
aid.
roll, Hazel.
The fist roll.
Okay, you
No.
do not hamper or aid him. Eric, make your roll. Normal first aid.
Okay, here we go.
Oh no! Use that bonus die you got from me.
no!
Use the bonus die. Okay.
I'm
Could you do both the bonus and the push the roll or no?
You can push if you fail the bonus die, yeah.
Can I push the roll?
Hey!
Oh, critical success! Oh.
Fucking A.
Don't forget to mark first aid successful roll.
Yes, yes, I will.
so
After a
that
harrowing bit of
subtracts-
surgery. What?
That subtracts
The tens place. So instead of rolling a 98,
Yeah.
he rolled an 8.
8.
Yeah. Critical success, yes. So, after a harrowing few minutes, you successfully peel the worm out and burn it alive while everyone squirms and the locals scream. But none of you take any more sanity loss to this because you've seen this 3 times now.
Oh my
Pshaw.
god.
That shit gets old.
And now you can all have one more bonus die because you saved this kid's life twice. Such heroes!
Woohoo!
But
Saved your life.
unfortunately, I do not get to do a recap that says after you left, the poor kid turned into a vampire and killed his father. I'm a little sad about that.
Oh, I'm sorry we took that opportunity away from you.
Wah, wah, wah. Daniel's just kind of like wipes a curtain of sweat off of his brow, and he's like, "I need a drink."
Oh, did I end up donating my bonus die, or is that still intact?
You still had to. Well, no. You didn't use it.
Yeah, I only
You
I
could have
used
used
mine.
it on your assist roll, but you didn't. So,
Oh.
no, yeah. Eric
Nice.
used his own. On the third day, unless you have more stuff for the father now that you caught that little clue.
Good thinking.
I just wish him well and tell him to stay away from vampires
And worms.
and worms and vines and keep gold and
Hoard gold.
hoard gold and don't do this again. We won't be around always.
They thank you profusely, the locals, and you were seen off. On the third day, spot hidden rolls for everyone.
Oh no.
Don't like that.
It
Do they do
hurts.
sanity rewards in 7th, Tyler?
At the end of a section, if you do certain actions, you'll get sanity rewards. I also award bonus die, but that's just me.
Okay, cool. Hey, I got a hard success. Nice.
Dang it. I failed again.
I'm gonna use my luck to succeed at that
Okay.
because I've not succeeded on a single roll tonight.
Okay.
No.
So that means
Save your
everyone
luck,
except
man.
Hazel notices.
By 1
You
point?
see two.
Oh,
man. Daniel sees two figures running across the tall grass. Sydney takes a closer look and says, "They're wearing that weird conquistador outfit." So Clive looks deeper and says, "One of those vampires is a shotgun injury." They're approximately 800 meters, a half a mile ahead, sprinting through the grass towards the plateau that you guess must be the one that overlooks the temple.
We have galloping alpaca.
You
Caldwell,
can, you
let's
can
get on the
try.
alpacas. Cut
You
'em off.
can try, but this will be a chase scene, which means I'll require ride rolls. You also have horses,
Oh god. I'll take a horse.
but I think Clive needs to stay on that alpaca. For better or worse.
I mean, I have no ride. I'm not staying on that alpaca.
Okay.
He's committed.
But
But what if the guides know how to ride alpacas? Because if
So,
they
you
can
have-
do it.
You have two choices here. You can try to make ride checks and easily run them down on the horses, or you can chase them on foot and try to catch up. Also, you have a third
I will
choice.
horse ride.
You have a third choice. Follow them sneakily and see what the hell they're doing.
That
I like
doesn't
this
sound
plan.
us at all. That
no,
requires
because
practice.
that also requires punching Cthulhu in the face. So probably
We still have 2
Um,
guides. Yeah.
three.
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 Still.
We've only lost
Three?
the one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that if they can track or if they can ride alpacas,
Oh, they're not chasing those monsters. No, that's your job, crazy white people. They have
I'll try
families.
to persuade them. We just need you to show us where they're going, and then
I don't speak
tell-
Spanish.
They just look
I'm
at you
like
and blink again.
tell them all they gotta do is show us where the vampires are. We'll take care of the rest.
I translate for him.
They're going that way. See? Look at them run.
I was gonna say with our spot
to their lair.
with our spot hidden, we know that they're heading towards a plateau that we believe overlooks the temple since we're at the end of
Sounds
our
like the
trail.
description that you were given by the farmer.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we get there, we'll probably be able to just search around and find a lair. Or, Mr. Lombardi, do we want to run them down? As one seems to be injured, we have a horse, we have guns. Miss Murphy, you still have the gold piece, correct?
I do, and you can't have it.
You're very attached to that gold piece.
Yes.
I
getting a
did
little
not.
weird.
I didn't ride a horse when I was in the Legion. I drove a jeep. All right.
Perhaps think of a horse as just a more dignified jeep.
I
I
can't
can't
ride,
fix a
so
horse.
I'm riding shotgun.
So you're gonna run them down. That's the group vote. Sounds like it.
I say run them
I
down.
think it's all we got.
We need somebody who knows how to ride the horse, though, and that ain't me.
I've got a 5 in ride.
I have a 40
Same.
ride.
All right,
Hey,
Sydney.
we
It's
got a
your
rider.
show. Sydney and the hobo are chasing the vampires down while the rest of you catch up as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so I can take. Yeah, I can probably take one person with
Yeah,
me on
with a
horse.
shotgun.
Yeah.
And I have the rifle, so.
All right, Sydney, what you got?
Here we go.
No pressure. Critical failure. Awesome.
I'm
Bonus
use
die.
my bonus I swear to
This is
God.
gonna be really comical, or
Hey, there it is.
Hey, here comes the
39,
39.
right under the wire.
Yes.
So I literally.
1 point.
Everybody, the first roll I have succeeded on without using luck tonight required a bonus die, and I succeeded by literally one number. Like 39 to beat a 40.
So afterwards, I need everybody to stay except Steve. Just, I know you need to go sleep, you know.
Okay.
Mr. Caldwell, why don't you go take a picture and write an article?
Oh man.
Okay, so
The $5,000 Patreon is to replace Steve.
you run them down. You can
Or
both take a
for
shot at the
$1,
fleeing
you can roll.
vampires. They can see you now, and they're moving faster, supernaturally fast.
Yeah.
What are they, vampires?
Dun dun dun.
That's
Okay.
impossible.
All right. So but we've closed a bit of the distance on them, correct?
Yes, you're close enough to
Okay,
take
well then-
shots now, even with the shotgun.
Oh,
Get
you
within
shot it.
blasting range, fire away.
Okay. I will focus all of my attention on maintaining
Boom.
distance. Boom.
So you're gonna focus on the horse.
I'm gonna focus on the horse,
wise.
keeping. Yes, I'm not gonna take shots. I want to give Daniel the best possible opportunities at shooting and keep the distance as close as possible.
You take a shot, and you put more buckshot in the one that you already injured from the other night.
Nice.
And
Well, then-
he's heavily injured now, so he turns and leaps towards your horse.
No! Can I rear the horse back and kick him out of the air?
Right check.
What the fuck?
And during this while this is happening, Daniel, you're reloading.
Yeah. Do I roll damage, or is this pointless with vampires?
Holy
Oh!
shit! Bam!
Wow.
Not necessary, because Steve has his horse drop kick that motherfucker down a hill.
I drop kicked
Yes.
a motherfucker with a horse. Boom!
He's got 2 shotgun holes at him, and then Steve drop kicked him in the face. His head is very. That's not a
Fish
proper
taco.
angle.
Oh my god! Like you said, he was leaping at the horse, right?
Yes.
It's like the vampire's coming in like that.
Denied.
I rear the horse up, and with its front legs, it just like meets the vampire in air and then tramples him just straight down, like the horse did a rock bottom.
While you did that, the other vampire got in range on you. However, if you sprint the horse after him, you might at least see what happens, because you see him disappear into the plateau.
We almost got him, Chief.
Yeah, we do. Let's go. All right. I will continue to try to close the distance on the second vampire.
You come up over the rise of the hill, and you come onto the plateau, and from the plateau, you see another plateau below you. On the one below you stands an ancient pyramid, and you see a nightmare.
A nightmare.
A nightmare.
You see the vampire standing on top of the temple, off in the distance. Motherfucker moves fast.
It got from
Wow.
here to here on
Mhm.
top of. Oh my god!
That's what you
Here.
see.
To here. To here.
The vampire is regurgitating a flood of white fat into a crack in the roof of the temple, surrounded by blowflies. The temple rumbles slightly. It's feeding something.
Oh my.
Sanity rolls for Eric or for Daniel and
Hey.
Sydney.
That from that far away?
Nice.
You're using the binoculars. You still had them.
I'm good.
Super good.
You both lose 1 sanity point each.
Okay.
As it regurgitates, it begins to shrivel up. And then it drags itself off the side of the temple and disappears down an edge you cannot see. About 20 minutes later, as you just stand there looking at each other, everyone else shows up.
Did we,
You see that Sydney is looking far more white than normal, and you see that the hobo is powering down that flask. When the rest of you catch up.
There's a thing in there.
There's a thing.
They're feeding something in there.
You know what will make me? You know what will make me feel better? Miss Murphy, would you accompany back to the trampled vampire so that we can burn it with the gold? I would like to see it destroyed.
Absolutely.
Would make me feel quite better right now.
The other left. The other got away.
The other is doing something currently. And then I kind of like half retch.
We found the temple. Right over there.
It's horrific, one might say.
Dan the hobo, do you elaborate any on what Sydney is saying?
I just tell them that they're feeding something inside the walls of that temple. And whatever it is, it's a lot worse than a vampire, probably.
Feeding it what?
Well, Mr. Caldwell, in your writings, have you seen how birds feed each other? Mother birds to baby birds.
Yeah, that's gross. I'm good.
I'm feeling rather faint.
Yes.
As you discuss this, you gaze down below you and you see ruins on a plateau overlooking a deep wind-blown valley. The surrounding land is arid and devoid of plant life. You are above the plateau and you see that you could clamber down around the edge of a neighboring peak to get to a narrow path to lead into where it is. It looks very treacherous.
Oh no.
That bodes no goodwill.
No plant life at all exists on the plateau. It's barren and dusty, with only the structures that exist there. You can hear an eerie whistling or piping sound blowing on the wind. Also, you can hear a faint buzzing sound, like thousands of flies.
Doubly weird.
And this is what you see.
That vampire?
Oh, the one that they beat to a pulp? Yes, you passed it along your way and torched it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what you see.
Good.
Ignore the part where it says the tunnel's beneath, but you see the left-hand side of that. It doesn't blow up super huge, but it's enough to see what you're seeing. And you see on the east-hand side that winding path. You are to the east of that.
I don't see a handout.
No.
Yeah, it's not appearing.
Sure, the player's button is foiling me. There you go.
Hey!
So that windy part on the right, it's like a
Oh man,
down
that is
U.
tiny.
You're to the east of
Is
that.
this a handout for ants?
The problem is
Damn.
the handout that exists with the supplement has all of the DM notes on it, so
Got it. Okay.
you're on the east side of this. The temple is the thing in the northwest corner, and then there's a crumbling wall around the entire area.
Okay, so there's a plateau
Yeah,
overall. And then this is kind of in a recess
of its own plateau.
in it. Well, so a plateau is like a flat
Yep.
thing.
You're on a plateau, and then there's that hard scrabble path going down real steeply to the other plateau
Right.
below you.
Okay.
It's really hard to
Okay.
explain without a good picture, which they never portray, but imagine that you're on a height, and you're on a flat part of a rock, and off to your east is a peak.
Okay.
So if you went that way, you'd get to
it's
the
like
peak.
There's a temple
And then below the
more
peak
temple.
is another plateau the temple's on. So you would travel from where you're at to the peak and down a really treacherous winding trail into the second lower plateau.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, this is a great opportunity to fall and break one's neck.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Oh my.
Cool.
It's rather too late to turn back now.
Jackson is
gotta
standing there and
finish the
says, "We
job."
can't. We've come this far. We must finish the job. We know there's at least one left, plus whatever horror lies beneath the mountain, beneath the temple."
Who said anything about turning back? That's a long ride. My
Miss-
ass hurts.
Miss Murphy, unless you're also able to hide an automobile inside that brazier, I do believe this is too far to turn back.
I bet you she did. Just saying.
So you have a choice to make now. You have a choice to make now. You have to make ride, animal handling, or mountain survival rolls to successfully get into the temple area. All of those rolls will be hard if you bring the pack animals.
I was gonna say I
Right.
was going to say, like, at this point we're gonna have to strip down our resources and travel as light
And
as
leave the
possible.
guides behind, because
Oh,
they are not
yeah.
going in that valley.
Leave the
I
guides
got a
to watch the
machete and some
animals.
coffee.
Grab a weapon, your preferred weapon. Grab any lighting tools we have, and other than that, that's kind of all we can bring.
Rope. Always rope.
Okay, good call. Rope.
Like Samwise Gamgee.
Do you all have ammo counts, or do you need those?
I
hold on, I think I got
have
it.
I'm not carrying any firearms, I don't think.
Okay.
I have
Yeah,
12
I'm,
I have 12 rounds of ammunition for the
Okay.
22.
10 shots.
Okay.
Because I expelled like 6 of them so far.
Yep.
That's it.
Clive?
I don't carry firearms.
There were
Liar.
the spare 238s if either of you want one, just because to have one for Hazel or Clive.
I gave them back to Steve at the last
Okay.
game.
Oh.
And Jackson tells you that
Yeah.
he has 12 rounds also. Yeah,
Good.
Steve.
I don't
Or,
mind having.
yeah, Sydney, you have like 3 revolvers right now.
Wow.
I don't mind having a gun. I don't think I'll get around to using it. Because,
Okay.
you know, swing first, shoot later.
Okay.
Jackson gives you half of his rounds so that your gun is loaded, Sarah. You have a full 6 shots. It's a revolver.
Better to have it and not need it.
Yeah, I guess that would be the Samwise of today.
Jackson says, if we're going to finish this, we should hurry, because it's already late afternoon.
It's getting dark.
Dun dun dun.
And none of you
Oh,
feel
do we have
like
something?
even without vampires, this is a good place to try to camp.
No.
Exposed on a
Do
windy
we have-
plateau.
And
electric torch?
it knows.
You do have one electric torch, and each of the rest of you has a regular torch.
Okay, cool.
The regular torches will last about 6 hours unless they get wet. The electric torch only lasts a couple hours, but it's supposedly this newfangled waterproof where it's sealed real well.
Cool.
It's the kind of torch that divers use when they put on those giant metal contraptions.
Oh.
Interesting.
Is there an approximate for the electric torch?
About 2 hours total use time. Which I'll only tell you when you've used up like a 15-minute increment.
Okay. Yeep.
So you're heading down as a
Farm
group,
down.
which means you can all
Guess
choose.
so.
You can all choose to separately make ride, animal handling, or mountain survival if you want to take mounts. If you're just going to walk, it's climb checks.
Just gonna walk.
Fuck.
Can we like rope ourselves together and to help each
If
other
you
down?
find a
or
clever way to
anything?
do that, you will get bonus die. Yes.
I mean,
So-
we all have links of rope, right?
What you could do is you could have somebody who's really good at climb
Well,
secure the rig, and then if he or she successfully secures the rig, anyone who uses it does not need to make a check. They'll just make dex checks to not drop.
I'm for that.
I've got a 30 in climb.
Oh, nice.
I have a 40.
That's better than what I got.
Dang it, 10 points ahead of me.
Sorry.
Yeah, he can secure it, then all we would have to do is make dex checks to get down there.
Now for this
For
one,
me.
what this means is I set this. You can actually aid each other, the two of you that have points in climb. I will set a
Okay.
DC, and then if either of you succeed, you can tally up your successes and compare it to the DC. Which means you both roll, and if you both succeed, you make Steve's success even better. If you fail, you don't make his success worse. You just don't contribute. It's a different kind of aid than we did last time.
I like that plan.
As do I.
So, shall we?
Hazel first, then Sydney. You can use a reroll, or you can push, or you can use luck, or just let it go.
She has a
boy.
bonus
You have our
die.
extra bonus?
I do have a
Yep.
bonus die. I've got 2 of them, so I'll do
The hero
that.
die for saving the boy. Oh, nope, that was worse. Okay.
Oh, no.
Sydney, you're on your own. She can't find a good place because it's all gravel and loose. To get the
And the gold just keeps slipping.
Yes. Damn
I can't
pythons.
drop it.
Pittons?
And
Is it Pitten or Python? I've always wondered that.
Pitten?
I've always said Pitten.
Yeah.
I believe it's actually pronounced Python.
Spike in the ground. Hey, Sydney, go.
Well, in the American South.
Hey, look at that.
Hey.
Hey!
Right.
Sydney is able to secure pythons in the side of the mountain, and then get good knots on them so that you can all whip the rope around your waist and climb down. Now you all need to make dex checks. Starting with Sydney, then Hazel, and then Clive, and then Dan.
I see.
Because you're going in order, and because if one person fails, it changes things for the rest of you.
It's actually pronounced Piton, I just found out.
Piton! We were all wrong.
Piton, I was about to say.
Wow.
Well,
Piton.
again, in Florida, we ain't got no mountains.
It's a Python.
So we call it a python.
Hi.
What are we rolling?
Hey, alright.
Dexterity.
Boom!
Dex.
A hard
Hazel, you're
success.
next.
Can I carry one of them with me?
No.
Am I rolling a climb or a dex?
Whichever's better.
Hey.
I would imagine it's your dex.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. None of you have a real... Hazel!
Why?
Oh no.
You can push or spend luck points, or if you have more rerolls.
I have 1. Just 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Super
Excellent.
success.
Oh, look at that! Alright. Clive.
I almost dropped the gold, didn't I?
15 points of
Rearrange.
luck, a reroll, or a push.
Bonus roll?
Yeah, you still have the one from the hero.
On my screen, it looks like
Nice! You made
Sean is asking Eric.
it. And Dan.
Alright, dexterity.
You all
Nice.
successfully navigate the rope, as does Jackson. He comes down last and recovers the rope and tosses it to Sydney.
I'm ready my
You are
shotgun.
now in the valley.
The
As
valley
soon as
so
you
low.
get, not the valley, the plateau. As soon as you get into the plateau, you see that there are blowflies everywhere, which is gross. Not
Light
regular
a torch.
flies,
Hold it
blowflies,
up.
the big fat green ones. And there's this powerful
That's
smell
gross.
of rotten meat.
I light up a torch and just kind of like hold it aloft, wave them off.
You see
Hopefully the
in
smoke will-
front of you. Yeah, sorry, Dan.
Does my hidden gold repel them at all?
No.
Dang it, so I can't, like, shove my chest in any particular direction and they go away.
No, but you could certainly try. You see in
And
front
that's
of you.
how we get the viewers up.
You see in front of you an old gate.
You're fired.
I mean, I can do it too.
Oh,
Oh, God.
the inner walls are crumbling, so you can either try to go through the gate or try to scale over the crumbling walls. A lot of the walls
Is
are
the gate-
decorated with archways, hinting at the remains of other structures that are gone. Smaller
Does the
versions.
gate look treacherous?
No, it looks really old though. Like, it's not locked, and it's kind of askew, but you couldn't squeeze through it. You got to push it open, which you think will take a group effort because it's rusted and old.
So, I know.
And there's a head leering over the top of it down at you like a gargoyle, only ancient South American style.
Now, I know you just said that this does not look treacherous. However, Sean, I just want to say, it's called a Cthulhu game.
Everything
just
is treacherous.
everything's treacherous.
Well, see,
The
that's
air is
implied.
treacherous.
What I'm merely asking, does it look extra treacherous?
Extra treacherous.
It does not. However, as you look, what you see is that
Oh, no.
the mouths are open slightly, and there's holes in them, and that's what's creating the eerie, creepy whistling. The statues are screaming at you.
Oh, are these like those death whistles
Yes.
carved into the building? Oh,
And as you look,
no.
as you look at the giant one on the gate, you look left and right, and you see they're set everywhere on the wall, littler ones.
Oh, that's
Creepy as
terrifying.
fuck.
It is scary, yes.
Should I just roll an
terrifying.
insanity now? Or you gonna call for it?
Pre-rolled insanity check.
So you can either
are
try to
you-
scramble over the
are-
broken wall with climb, or push your way through the gate with a group force.
Are you able to drop in the sound of one of those death whistles?
Oh God. Oh.
Actually,
Not now, but like in post. Let's scare the audience. I got your back, guys.
Daniel's just like, they already know we're here, Chief. Let's just go in.
Are there like footprints or anything around the gate?
there you go, Steve. Yes, one set.
And I imagine those go further in, up to the temple-ish.
Sorry, Clive, stand by. We don't want to drown you out. Say that again?
And imagine those go further in, up to the temple-ish.
Yes. And it looks like the one vampire that was regurgitating into the temple is probably what you guess.
Yep.
Okay.
You can see the remains of older tracks, but that's the only recent set.
Can we just nudge open the gate a little bit?
No, you got to force it open with group strength check.
That's what I meant. Like you said, it was
Yes.
sort of open, right?
Mr. Lombardi, perhaps you could put your back into this.
Sure. Whatever you say, Chief.
What you can do, well, the way it works is there's a threshold of strength needed to push the door open. You all have to make a roll. Everyone who succeeds on the roll adds their total strength. So let's pretend I say it's 180 DC. You need a total of 180 strength points to get through.
I got 65% all already there.
So let's start with Dan
It's
this
funny.
time. Do your strength roll,
Yeah.
and then Clive,
Ah.
I will help as well.
and then Hazel, and then Sydney.
Dude, you have a
Nabbit.
75 strength?
Yeah.
Shit.
Clive and Sydney, what's your individual strengths?
Mine's 75.
Minus 70.
It's 145. You needed 120. The two of you are able to muscle the door open enough to slip through.
Nice.
On the
And
inside,
nothing happened?
nothing terrifying or treacherous or terrible happened, except a really
Okay.
loud, slow. Everything knows you're here now.
Oh God.
Pizza.
Well,
They already
Caldwell, I
know
will
what.
say-
Yeah.
The ground within is
Right.
uneven, with piles of silt blown into small dunes.
Dun, 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 dun,
And
dun,
then
dun.
in the far corner is the pyramid itself, which upon closer inspection, you can see that it's mostly submerged. You're only seeing the top. It's a step pyramid made of rough-hewed stone, worn and cracked with age. It is quite far away. You can walk straight over there, or you can go real slow and check everything out. It's completely up to you how you move.
so we're actually standing kind of towards the top of the temple? Or
The
ruins?
temple is...
If you look at
And
the
then the
thing,
re-
you're...
I'll open it again so everybody can see it, and I'll explain.
I'd
Yeah,
like to check it out
we're
nice
like in
and
the
slow.
middle.
So, I'm gonna hit show to players so it pops up for all of you.
Okay.
You see where the winding path hits that white section on the right.
Yes.
White section's the gate. You're literally just past the gate.
Oh, okay. I see.
So you can move quickly and
Carefully.
quietly, or quickly and loudly straight to the temple, or you can explore around first. It took you an hour and a half to get down the path, which means it's
They've had
about 30
plenty of
minutes
time.
to twilight.
We should hurry, but we need to be careful on the approach to the temple. So, Daniel's just kind of like in soldier mode. He's like, watching everybody's corners and stuff as going in, single file, whatever.
And we can see everything that's kind of in this.
Yes, except the tunnels beneath, obviously.
Right. Well, because on this side you can see that there's kind of a big hole in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, that's a collapsed remembrance of a building. You can see that from here. You could, however, realize that there's some interesting things in the terrain and just do a search of the area. It's up to you.
You want to search the place after we're done in the temple, or you want to poking around first?
I say we poke at that temple.
So Clive wants to go straight to the temple.
Lead the way, boss. I'm right behind you.
You can all get a vote, and the majority will carry.
I kind of want to look in the giant hole, but at the same time, kind of want to stay away from the giant hole.
I do believe we should try to understand our surroundings as much as possible before entering, just to make sure that nothing's coming up behind us when we walk into this temple.
That's not a bad idea, Chief.
Sounds like 3 for search around. 1 kind of and 2 very much yes search around. Okay. So, 2 choices: spot hidden or archaeology. Should anyone have it?
I'm not an archaeologist, so.
So
Yeah,
I put no points into archaeology,
Same.
Spot
but
hidden
I
it
can
is.
appraise the crap out of this temple.
Can I anthropology it instead?
Yes, you can, Sydney, but it's hard instead of regular. However, the spot hidden is hard by default. So,
Extreme.
oh, look at that!
As well.
Look at that, Daniel. Nice. Okay. You're all
And another
searching.
failure.
You're all searching around, and none of you except Dan find anything of interest. Dan, as you're searching through the area, you reveal that one of these silt dunes obscures a vertical shaft that looks like it's dropping directly down into some kind of tunnel system.
Look at this,
It's
guys.
got a broken piece of stone slapped over top.
Scoop the sand aside, the silt, and just show them, like, hey, check this out.
You look around and you blink and you're like, wait. And you go around and you grab some of the rope and you start whipping it back and forth over the silt. And you realize every one of these mounts is a vertical shaft going into tunnels, but they're all capped with still tightly sealed stone. Only the one has broken stone you could move to climb into.
Huh. Shortcut, maybe?
You open it and an eerie sound whistles out and it smells like death.
What do you say, Chief? Take a shortcut inside the temple?
I think the hobo needs another shower.
It ain't me, I swear!
Now you could also
Right.
jump in the hole, or you could go check out the temple and then decide your approach.
If we go down this shaft, we might be able to catch him by surprise, boss.
It's also possible.
Catch who by surprise?
The frickin' vampire that's waiting for us inside.
How do we know he didn't go hop in his coffin or something like that?
These ain't your normal vampires, Chief.
I mean, just saying.
I feel
You really think a vampire's gonna go crawling into a box at night?
Oh, it's during the day, you're right.
but if you
For another half
a
hour.
few more minutes.
Yeah, not for long.
I don't know about all of you, but I feel that if we make any attempt to enter the front door, that will be our entrance that we won't be able to come back from.
What's
The vampire
front door?
walking up to the temple and attempting to scout it. Once we do that, I believe the jig is up. For whatever little jig we have, considering that we just trampled this vampire's friend to death with a horse while shooting it with a shotgun.
You said this was the top of the temple, right?
The area off in the corner is the top of the temple.
Like, it's literally...
You
the rest
feel
of it
like it is
buried?
possible this entire plateau is buried temple, yes.
Yep.
You have no
Okay.
idea how far it goes. It could be massive. It could be, vampire movie. Tarantino's
From
Yeah.
dusk till dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn, yeah, where it's
Yeah.
the entire mountain on the
Look,
backside.
man, I'm telling you. We can use the rope. See how far it goes down.
How big are the steps on the actual pyramid? Like,
5 feet each, and there's 5 of them exposed. So it's 25
And should
feet
some-
from the ground.
so this
And
thing's
should
not that
something
tall.
yank you down?
It's not that tall. That's how you know it's only the top.
If we got enough rope, we might be able to shoot a line down. maybe use that door over there as the anchor. What do you say?
I think that is a good plan and a way in. An asymmetrical entrance benefit us.
Clive
But,
and Hazel.
It's the top of the pyramid. Why don't we go just check it out for a second? Like, see what it is.
I would like to look at it at least. They already know we're here.
That's a tie.
would-
You can
I
roll
would
play it
al-
out, or I can roll percentile for the party.
The only other thing, if that is what we decide, that is, of course, what we'll do. However, I would like to reiterate that me and Mr. Lombardi witnessed the feeding of something inside of this temple that was at the top.
Yeah, so we should go look at the top.
Yes. Let us go peek.
I mean, Sydney, you're the adventurer. Wouldn't you go just diving straight into the most dangerous things so that when you get back to America, I could write an article that's like, hey, Sydney was swell and went in just headlong first and was like, I'm the best. I'm the best American doing the best American things and gung-ho and just, was right up there in front and like leading the charge.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cardwell, are you challenging my adventurous spirit?
Can we not do this now, please?
I am. I feel like of all the people, you should be the one that's just wants to just explore and take it all in and see everything.
I do, in fact, want to explore this deep, dark tunnel.
Can I charm the crap out of Sydney?
You can try.
If he makes it back to the stage.
Sydney, please roll psychology.
What the fuck? What the fuck? 90 charm?
That's what
That's
Clive
not
do.
even legal.
It's not even legal.
It's not. I think 80, what is it? 80 the cap, isn't it?
90.
No, you said 90.
I capped starting skills at 90. Sydney, you don't have to change your answer because you're a PC, but you feel very charmed. This man makes a compelling point that feeds your ego.
I see.
Good God.
I mean, Sydney, do you want people to go? I went in a hole instead of charging up that mountain and standing tall for all this. I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture from here. You go, look at me. I'm on top, king of the world.
Mr. Caldwell, no more is needed. If this is the path that we wish to take, this is the path that I will pursue.
Sydney is swayed. It carries. You all scramble up the sides of the 5-foot steps, and as soon as you get to the top of the pyramid, you are overwhelmed by the smell of corruption. And you see a giant crack going across the length of the top that's only about 3 inches wide at the widest point. And there's a horrible smell of foulness and thousands of flies coming out of the hole.
Smash that camera.
Listen rolls.
Listen.
Oh, goody. Listen. 5. That's expected.
I didn't hear crap.
Oh, wow, Dan, look at you with the on fire extremes tonight. Dan, you hear a bubbling, oozing sound from far below the temple.
You hear that? There's like a... I think they're cooking something down there. You hear that bubbling sound?
I'm going to take your word for it.
On the far side of the pyramid, though, which you can only see from the top, you see a large pit, about 15 feet on each of its sides, and 10 or 15 feet deep, filled with dead human bodies. It is a charnel pit.
That's disgusting.
Whoa.
Click.
Everybody in the hole is emaciated. They've all been sucked dry of their fat.
Holy.
Are they dead? We ought to kill them.
Very dead.
Wait. You guys said that they were puking in this thing, right?
In the
Where's
crack.
that at?
Weight Watchers.
You can see the splatter of fat and stomach acid at the widest point of the crack.
Oof,
You said it's only 3 inches, though?
Yeah.
I'm feeling rather unwell.
Spot hidden rolls.
Not worse than them, lady.
Oh, man.
Mr. Hobo, I should advise you to keep your mouth shut.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you there, sister. I don't want any of those bloat flies flying in.
Clive, Daniel, and Hazel. There's another entrance to the tunnels in the pile of bodies. It's right there.
Yeah,
and it's
no.
a bigger hole, too. It's much easier to get in there.
Which hole you want to go down?
I would rather struggle than be digging through corpses and other viscera.
We can go through the corpses. You just gotta shut your nose and shut your mouth and keep the flies from flying into your mouth.
Oh, perhaps we should take that route and then maybe you'll be quiet.
We could take the other one I found back there.
Now you said,
I prefer that one.
is it possible?
It will
so
be very
you said
peaceful.
they're puking fat down the crack?
Into whatever apparently Daniel here is bubbling and oozing far below, yes.
Can you ignite that?
If we had enough
Not from here.
dynamite, maybe.
Maybe
So-
from inside the tunnels.
Eric, I was gonna say, Eric
Right.
can hear bubbling. Or
Bubbling
Right.
and
Greg
oozing.
can hear
And-
bubbling.
And
So-
he's been stuck on this since he heard it, and he's almost got his ear on the gross patch. And Daniel, the more you listen, the more you realize whatever's making that noise is Cyclopean.
What?
Big.
Fucking massive.
Oh.
I was thinking
Colossal,
one-eyed.
I was dropping Lovecraft words for you there.
Cyclops have one eye.
Oh my.
But it refers to the size of the cyclops.
Yes.
They were big.
This is a very large eye.
Nailed it.
Whatever that thing is that's down here, it's bigger than any of us.
So, but you're hearing bubbling and
Oozing.
Yeah, it's like an ooze or something down there. I don't know
So there's
what it is.
something down there.
do we
I'm
believe
telling you,
that
there's
they're
something down there, and it's big, and it's bad, and we need to kill it.
They're
Fire.
puking. They're feeding it. They're feeding something down there.
In true
Or-
Lovecraft style, Daniel looks at you, Sydney, and says, "I cannot possibly describe this, but I'll try."
the horror? It was so horrific. I can't
It's a
describe to you.
horror, it is. It's a horror.
So it sounds as though they're rendering the remnants of their food into something.
Or maybe something's slurping up all that fat.
Something's getting fed off of that fat.
I can only dream that it is making candles, but I'd be wrong.
I mean, you guys told me it's like a bird.
Okay.
So
Well, if we'll have to. So we have two ways into this temple to figure out what's happening here,
yeah,
and
the
I
gross
don't.
way, the
and
tight
I don't. And I don't plan on crawling through a well of bodies. So perhaps
Right.
we can. Perhaps we should make our way back to the dark, narrow tunnel.
Wait, one moment. Perhaps we do go through the bodies.
Miss Murphy, your
Uh-huh.
sense of adventure has shifted quite dramatically.
No, hear me out. We would smell like the corpses. Perhaps we wouldn't smell like us and attract the vampires if they go by smell.
They already know we're here.
They do, but they don't know where we're coming from. It's a thought.
Did they describe like exactly what the vampire looked like and happens? Like, did you
You
guys get
saw
that
it?
level of detail?
You saw it when it was
I
trying
didn't.
to... Oh, were you not there?
No, it was just.
No, you were in the
Sydney and
car.
Daniel.
You're right. No, I don't think they ever told you what it looked like other than it was teeth and sucking.
No,
fat.
not that. Like when this thing puked up, did they give me all the details, or do I just know bird regurgitating?
The latter.
The latter
Okay.
from Daniel, but what about from Sydney?
I mean,
It's up to him.
I'm not purposely trying to hide anything from, but all we really saw was that thing standing on top of the temple and then putting its mouth to the crack and yeah.
So,
Or am I missing something?
no,
we
you
saw?
did it right.
No.
I'll pop it up,
But-
Sean, and then you can assume that you saw this, or that they described this.
Oh god. Oh,
That's disgusting.
lovely.
All right, so
Wow.
well, the specific thing is where my thought process is going is that you said it got emaciated afterwards
Yeah, like,
and it wandered off,
Yeah.
stumbled off.
but not towards the charnel pit, towards one of the shafts.
Okay.
You didn't know that then, but now that you've uncovered the shafts, it went into the tunnels. It did not go into the pile of bodies.
When I puke my guts out, I get tired. You know, I go take a nap.
And how often have you gotten sick to where you're vomiting all the time?
On this trip.
I mean, yeah, on this trip. I'm just saying, like, maybe it doesn't know we're here. Maybe it's asleep. Maybe
We're
maybe
wasting
if we're
time.
just
And we're
quiet.
losing daylight. We gotta
oh,
go,
it's dark
boss.
now. That half hour's gone. It's twilight.
All
Gotta
right.
get the
You're going in
torches
the
ready.
tunnels
We gotta
at
light
night.
this thing on fire.
If we're quiet and careful, we might get the drop on this thing. So,
So which entrance? Through the bodies or through the far away entrance that's going to make you cover all the tunnel?
You know what? You know my pick for that one. Quiet
I
through the other one. No bodies.
not gross.
Hazel?
Bodies.
Oh,
Sydney?
Not bodies.
Long way it is. You come all the way to the other shaft and you look down into it, and you shine your torch down there. You drop one of your actual lit torches down there because you have spares. It hits the bottom and causes the shadows to flicker like they're reaching out for you with their little sharp fingers to grab you and yank you in, but it's about 15 feet deep.
Oh.
It's lined with the same type of stone slabs that make up the pyramid. It looks like after 15 feet, it hits an incline and you're going to slide on your butt farther in.
Oh.
Like Luke after losing his hand in Empire.
yeah, it's like a slide that goes down. And
Yes.
It's an incline. Nice.
How long is our rope?
Your rope is long enough to get you into the hole, but you don't know how far the incline goes. You can't see it from here because it curves away.
Do it. Just need to secure the line, drop a line, and down we go. Down the gullet.
Yeah, the idea of those bodies is not sitting well.
I'll go first.
Secure that rope again, Sydney. Bonus die this time because you already did it once and you understand the limestone of the area. Nice! The rope is anchored.
Nice. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
With an anchored rope, you don't actually need to check to go down. So you can go down the 15 feet, and now you've got your butt on the incline, and you shine we'll say you have the electric torch because you went first. Anyone
Okay.
disagree? Okay. You shine it down the incline, and it goes out of the range of the light.
These things happen.
I'll call back up to them. Crew, I cannot see the end of this incline that leads us deeper into the temple, but I will try to move forward as much as possible.
And then the great Sydney, reluctantly yet bravely, soldiered on.
Sydney slides down the incline on his butt.
I was gonna say, can I brace myself? How narrow is this tunnel? Like, can I put my arms and feet out to brace myself, or is it too wide and tall?
10 feet wide, so no.
Boo.
The shaft is about 7 feet in height, but it's narrowing as you reach the bottom. You're going to have to crawl once you're inside. You're either going to have to crouch or crawl.
So it's 10 feet.
10 feet
7
high. 7 feet this way, yes. 10 wide, 7 tall. As you slide down, it's going 6 tall, 5 tall. Eventually, you will be able to brace yourself.
Okay, then I slide. Whee!
You slide to where it hits 4 feet tall, where you have to hunch over to move through, and you just stop yourself. And
Okay.
there's 5 or 10 more feet before it hits. It levels out, and you're actually in the tunnels.
Okay, so I've got one hand up, grabbing the ledge, that has moved down to only 4 feet tall, and then I've got the electric torch, and I'm shining it down, trying to see what I can see before I go any further.
A long tunnel heading into the creeping, cloying darkness.
Just more fucking darkness.
But it's level here, and you're not going down anymore.
Okay.
More
Then
sound
I'll get
effects
off.
for you.
Then I'll get off the slide.
You gonna shout back? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'll.
Maybe just have like a method where you pull the rope or something.
I was gonna say, did the rope come with me the whole way, or only the 15 feet down to the slide?
You ran out of rope long ago.
Ran out of rope. Long. That's what I thought too. So I have to. How about that? Well, no, that would make sense.
Sounds like a somewhat juicy hallway.
Does the light shine back up far enough that they can see it coming?
Nope.
Like, so there's 15 feet that way, and then the thing goes down that way. I can't get the light up to here.
I'll tell you what the distance is once I see how you try to communicate with them, because then you'll understand. But yes, the light does
Sure.
not reach them.
Okay.
Like, you can see
and
it
it's-
fade off long before the top.
And it's stone, right?
Yep.
It's not reflective or anything like that. If we had a mirror, maybe.
I look
Oh,
around.
Sydney has to have a mirror.
I'm very pretty. Okay, I'm going to get back, like, kind of like half crawl back into the tunnel
Right.
and kind of cup my hands, and I'm going to try to direct my voice down the tunnel so that it echoes back to them without going back out into the main antechamber of
Listen
the temple.
checks from you three.
Alright.
And I'll just say, like,
gosh.
safe, or something
Good.
like that.
We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on
Shit
down.
now. God damn it.
Used it all
No.
up, Eric.
No.
No!
Gee.
Don't fail us, Clive.
Clive, hear me! Hear
Dare
me,
I push?
Clive.
Dare I push the roll?
Oh, look at that!
Yes!
Clive, you hear a
Yeah.
faint voice from really far down in the tunnel. You think is Sydney. You don't know what it
I
said.
recognize jackass anywhere.
You start counting,
hear him.
Sydney. You're like, math is hard, but let me do this, and then I went there, and then I did that. Holy shit, that's like 90 feet from the 15-foot drop.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
are
yeah.
deep in there now.
My.
In deep something now.
There ain't no going back quick.
Alright.
Do you tell the party you think you heard him?
Yeah. I told him.
Jackson looks up at the sky and
Right,
says,
let's go.
nothing ventured, nothing gained, and goes down the rope.
Alright. No guts, no glory. Who's next?
Ladies first.
You all
You're
reach
so...
You all reach the bottom of the 110-foot drop, 115-foot drop, and now you're in the tunnels, far below the earth, in the darkness.
Torch out. Shotgun
Let
out.
me tell you, Sydney. No one comes here in the dark, in the night.
Good to know.
I hold the electric torch up to my face as they land. As they start coming down the slide portion and into the same room as me, and they have the actual real torches, I will turn off the electric torch to reserve battery.
You've used 15 minutes of it.
Hold up the torch. See where we're going.
You
Start
have
peeping
to.
around.
The ceiling's only 4 feet tall here, so you are all hunched over as you move forward. There is no moving quickly. The smell is literally overwhelming here. What would you like to do before you move forward?
Check the
Ooh,
walls, please. Whoever has a torch.
I would very much love to cover
crack.
my face.
Hazel covers
Yeah,
her
I'd
mouth
like
with a
to-
strip of cloth.
Yeah, just make a makeshift mask.
Make a makeshift mask, yeah.
Sydney?
I mean, if I can do that as well, we'll take their lead. But I would also like them to check the walls as much as possible, and see if A, hieroglyphs or pictures or any writings, and B, if there's any old lighting system that might be down here.
Checking around carefully, you see that the floor is covered with dust and fragments of broken stone, and the ceiling has limestone deposits creating stalactites occasionally, but not constantly in the roof. You realize if you were to move quickly, that would hurt. You'd lacerate your knees and your back.
Slow as it goes, then.
Stealth. Hold on, let's see. The walls themselves, there's nothing special at this point, although there is some hieroglyphic writing combined with an ancient language of some sort around the entrance. And you point that out to Jackson because none of you can read that. And Jackson studies it for several minutes. And he kind of goes, I see. Let's just continue on, shall we?
Jackson, you will tell us what it says.
What did Mr. Murphy say?
He sighs heavily, and he says, beware all who enter here of the father of maggots. He devours all that come.
Oh my.
I mean, we've gotten this far, and we've seen examples of such. I'm not concerned.
To be fair, maggots in general are quite small creatures, so father of all of them can't be more than maybe 10 to 11 inches.
Are you aware of how many insects there are in the world?
More than 100, I imagine.
Sydney, you're good with math. Did you do the numbers on how far we're down here?
I actually did, yes.
Okay, so we saw 20 feet worth of temple.
Correct.
And we're down how many feet?
15 vertical with another 90 at an angle, so well over 100.
Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say father of all maggots. I don't know, 100 feet tall, 100 feet wide, big as the temple.
10 to 11 inches maximum.
Definitely not a massive, bubbling, oozing pile of maggot-ridden trash that Daniel already heard. Nope, you're fine. Move on.
Nope. Again, we're talking proportionality, Mr. Caldwell.
Right. Yes. That is exactly what we're talking about. We're not talking about being stuck in a hole with a 100-foot tall maggot. Not talking about that at all.
Quiet down here.
Literally not talking about that.
With a 100-foot tall maggot. That's not what's going on. That's not what we're doing.
We're hunting maggots.
Somebody said, hey, you want to go on vacation in a fucking hole? Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that.
You move forward. Deeper
Is that
into
maggot
the
season?
Yes.
cloying darkness.
So, just to set the scene and what we're all doing, I would like to have my weapon out. That does require 2 hands from me, so I cannot hold a torch.
I'll
Who do you
carry a
hand
torch.
the electric torch off to? Hazel, since she just said that.
Well, I would prefer not to use the electric torch if possible. Can we just have 2 people with regular torches trying to cast off light for us?
Yes.
If
I
that's
need my
okay.
shotgun.
Unless
Jackson
someone
will
wants to
carry
use the
one
electric.
torch, so which of you wishes to be the other torchbearer?
I am carrying a machete, so I'll definitely be carrying a torch.
Okay. So
In
we
that
have 3
case,
torches.
Jackson will stay armed, yes. Okay.
Okay. Oh, 2. Okay, cool. Because Eric, I also think Daniel has 2 hands required for the shotgun, so yeah.
Correct.
A foul wind blows towards you from deeper in the tunnel. As you move forward slowly and carefully into the darkness, making the noises you hear
Sydney!
worse, until you realize, and as you go forward for 10 or 15 minutes into the dark tunnel, and you realize the wind is odd, and it takes you that whole 10 minutes before you all realize it almost at once, and all stop and look at each other. as the foul wind is hitting you, then hitting you, and then like
Breathing.
something breathing.
That's gross.
Cool. Before we all die horribly, can I make a retcon and say that when we got to the door, I used the hobo code to write danger?
For all those American trained coppers,
You're gonna be out here in the Andean
You're
highlands.
hobo,
at a-
you're
at a
hobo
temp-
abroad. You're gonna see
All
that
the
shit.
expats,
Got
man. You know.
You at the end of that 15 minutes, you reach the end of this corridor, and it branches left and right like a T intersection. The wind is stronger from the left.
It's this way.
Left is never right.
Shut up.
Perhaps one end
Always go left.
is the front of the creature, and the other is the other end.
So you want to head towards the ass or the mouth? Or do you want to find the middle path and ass to mouth?
Doesn't matter. I'm bringing a torch to this party.
Can we not stand up yet?
Nope.
I'd rather
Ceilings
not
are never taller than
face.
4 feet through almost the entirety of the place that you've seen.
I'd rather not face its face.
Don't want to swallow.
Uh-oh, that's
my
2 for right,
Molotov
2 for left.
cocktail? Or does it want an enema of fire?
Yeah,
Or wait,
I'm
no.
I'm voting right.
Yeah, that's 2 for right, 2 for left. Roll off or convince
Yeah.
each other. Roll off it is.
Most
Low is Steve, high is Sean. You go left.
All right, there we go. Into the butthole we go.
Okay.
Miss Murphy, I believe
No,
we're
left
following-
is the face.
Oh, right.
right.
As you turn the corner, you see something ahead of you, maybe 40 or 50 feet. It looks like a pile of rags, sticks, and garbage in the middle of the hallway.
Is it the conquistador vampire?
Conquistador vampire had on old rusty plate armor and had definite, like, rags, but they were clothing. This just looks like rags and sticks and garbage from here. You'd have to get closer.
When you say sticks, are they kind of white and calcium-based sticks?
Can't tell from here. You'd have to get closer because of the cloying darkness.
Cloying darkness.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have a
Better than
torch, so
average. I approach very carefully, shotgun. I'm looking around, looking for surprises.
You keep heading forward? Okay. When you get within 20 feet, it becomes obvious what it is. It's a body wrapped in decayed wool and cotton. But I mean, like, skeletal almost. It reacts. It does not react to your torchlight at all.
Does it react to my hidden gold?
You're too far away to tell. You're 20 feet away still.
I creep ever closer.
Spot hidden.
Oh, here we go.
Only for Hazel, unless the rest of you follow.
no.
Yeah, I follow.
I'm right
Who's
there.
Ooh.
Ah.
Hey, she made it.
Hazel, you see one of those maggots start squirming as you get close with your gold, and it's like in the skull. But then it pops down through the eye socket and disappears, and the body shakes and stands up and lurches towards you.
What?
Skeletal
Stands
monsters.
up.
The maggots can apparently animate
Can
long dead
animate
bodies.
dead bodies?
It's a goddamn Aztec mummy. What do you do?
We can't stand up here, right?
No, but Hazel, it's coming right at Hazel, and she's in front of the rest of you.
Fire!
Make a brawl roll, Hazel.
Oh god.
You can do it.
I hope so.
You got this.
Wait. Where? Okay, there we go. Oh boy. I can't find my brawl. Ah.
You can go to the combat page.
Yeah, the combat tab.
I have my options are slashing or bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
You swing at it, but in your terror you miss. It lurches forward and tries to grab a hold of you. Looks like it kind of looks like it wants to make out with you.
Ah, can I push that roll?
Yes, you can.
Should I push that roll?
Yeah.
No,
You should.
If you miss, that is bad.
Yeah, I don't feel like getting dust in my mouth.
Okay.
Am I nearby?
You can't do anything yet. It claws at you, but you dodge out of the way, screaming. Clive, you're right behind her. You got your machete.
I do have my machete.
You want to try to hack at the mummy?
I do want to hack at the money.
You swing.
I will spend 4 goddamn points.
You swing, and you think you're missing, but then you correct your swing and you cut through it. Roll damage.
Damn it, Sean. You're not playing XCOM. What the fuck?
7 damage.
You hack a large chunk of it off. It's still got half of its torso, its head, one arm, and most of a leg, and it's falling towards Hazel to grab her. What do you do? What do you do, Sydney?
Not wanting to shoot into this situation, it's basically grabbing Hazel, right?
It's trying.
I've got gold. Does that repel it?
It's trying to grab her.
Yeah.
It's moving its face towards hers. You're guessing it wants to infect her with the maggot that's in the skull.
Is there a clean shot I can take, or is it like
Yes.
right up? Oh, there is. Okay, then I'll take a shot at it instead. Yeah.
The report is loud and echoes all through the place, so you all jump a little.
Yeah. Well, you know,
There
tonight
comes the
is
time.
tonight happens, man.
Hey.
Oh, look at that! That's a 4. You put the bullet right through the eye socket and blow the maggot away, and the dead body collapses back into just dust and bones.
Nice shot, Chief. Good shooting.
Oh man.
Oh, Sydney. And she gives him a little peck on the cheek and then shoves him away.
For good measure, you want to dip the gold in the grossness just to make sure.
Nuke it from orbit's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, nuke it from orbit. Just put your gold on the body.
I do
Make
that.
Sure.
The body doesn't react, but what's left of the maggot bursts into that weird flame and melts away.
Right.
Good
Okay.
die.
You continue forward.
Yeah.
The howling
Ram.
increases, and the pulsing wind gets stronger, and the smell of filth is worse, and you realize it's a good thing we covered our mouths or we'd be throwing up. And you start hearing a bubbling sound again, and you realize
It's that thing.
something gross is in front of you.
Whatever could it be?
A giant section of the floor covered in nothing but the white, bubbling filth between you and the rest of the tunnel.
Oh.
And that's when the ground shifts, and you hear sound far away, and you realize that sound is the other path collapsing. There's no way forward now.
Huh.
Ah.
What's the ground like beneath us?
Limestone. Carved. It looks like this is maybe... there's a crack in the wall here. And you realize, as you can see in the picture, that a piece of gold ward was taken out from here, and it caused the crack. And out of the crack is bubbling a massive amount of the white putrid filth, filling a hole in the floor between you and the rest of this place.
Hazel, can we put the gold back in here?
It looks like it would be a perfect fit.
Come on, sister. We gotta give it. Look at this stuff. You wanna go dancing around in this thing?
The hole is 10 feet wide. The only way to put the gold back in that hole is to get in the pile of fat.
No.
Give it to me. I'll do it.
Wait.
The surface of the pool is writhing.
Yeah, does the pool of filth look extra super duper treacherous?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're gonna need
Do you
that.
see anything specific?
No.
the,
No.
the fat is moving in 3 distinct areas. There's at least 3 larvae in there, maybe more.
Now,
I stick a
listen,
torch in.
listen. Yes.
She won't give up the gold. I'll put a torch in that sucker.
How much fat is there?
It's at least 10 feet around the hole. You don't know how deep it is. Stick something in there, find out. Like your arm. I recommend your arm.
Cool. That sounds safe.
I suggest we burn it, and then I'll see if the gold fits myself, and then if it doesn't, I get to keep it.
It is fat.
Okay.
Fat's flammable.
Hold on. You said the thing collapsed behind us?
Yes. There's no going back.
And
There's only forward.
The only way is in front of us?
And this is where the ward is broken, right here.
Right.
And you have the piece
So-
to repair it.
We're in a goddamn chimney, basically,
Yes.
waiting
Yes.
to happen. So burning might not be the best.
It's not a good idea.
So how good of a shot are you, Sydney?
Jackson asks, Miss Hazel, why is it you were not willing to replace the ward? This may stop all the vampires. This may solve all the problems.
I need the gold on me so that the vampires don't come at me again.
Does it have
There's
to be
plenty
that
of gold out there in the world.
No. This gold is special. Obviously.
Yeah, it's special. It needs to be in the wall so that we get our face. No.
He says, what if I gave you this? And he pulls a ring off his finger and hands it towards you. It is made out of solid hammered silver and gold, and it's a Miskatonic class ring. It's
Oh,
obviously
nice.
important to him, but he's willing to let you have it.
Nice.
It's a big ring,
Hazel.
too. If you punch Sydney with that, you'd break his nose.
Hazel
I pull these guys
reluctantly
aside. I'm like,
takes
"Hey,
the
listen."
ring and then relinquishes very slowly, very, very slowly, the gold bar thing. And when someone goes to remove it from her hand, she's very reluctant to let it go. And it gets
puts-
pulled a little bit.
He puts both his hands over yours and very gently pulls it away, while he pats you reassuringly, telling you how brave you are. And then he looks at the rest of you. He looks towards the pool of filth. He looks at the gold in his hand. And unless one of you brave souls stops him, your new friend is going to go in there and do this.
Whoa.
I got
Why don't
two.
we just dip it and see what happens? I mean, that shit's been setting things ablaze.
He shrugs
Maybe
and dips the gold into the pool of filth. The 3 bubbling larvae under the surface move away from it, but nothing happens to the filth itself.
Can we
Gotta light
like?
this fucker on fire. Fuse it. We gotta melt the.
Can we like?
Seal it back up.
Yeah, it
can we,
looks very much like
corral them?
what would have to happen, and this is for Daniel, is he'd stand in there, or somebody would, and hold the gold in place. And then one of you would be on the opposite side, so that person has already crossed the filth. And one of you's on the side you are now, and you bend the broken spot back in, and you don't have to melt the gold into place. See in the picture
we
where
can't
it's
melt
bent out? See how it's bent out in the picture?
Yeah.
If you put the piece in there and bend those sides back over the broken piece, the ward will be complete again.
And
I propose we melt it into place so we know what he has to potentially sacrifice themselves in the process.
Jackson
But we
asks
still have
how
to go in the fill.
you would accomplish such heat in this place.
Hold on. Take off my backpack and my rucksack.
Got some white phosphorus right here.
2 liters of moonshine. I just need a light.
What would happen
lighter.
if we poured the moonshine on the lava?
It would burn the
It's
fat.
drunk
It's a
as
giant
fuck.
pool of fat. It'll burn.
Yeah, we can't light the fat, or else we.
No. If you pour the moonshine on the maggots,
How would you get them?
They're in the fat, though.
but would they get drunk? My apologies, I had to say it.
Maybe they don't
Perhaps-
get drunk enough to just fight each other.
Maybe
Perhaps
I
the
like
fat.
this plan.
The fat
Come on,
might
guys, we could
be
do it. We could
used.
use moonshine to defeat Cthulhu.
Perhaps the fat or the moonshine could be used as a flux, as if you were soldering. I use
There it
solder with
Yeah.
working with machinery. Perhaps a little bit
Didn't you
behind the
just say we
gold.
But didn't you just say we just have to bend it back in place?
Yes, you could also
And
try to
melt
melt it in place, but that doesn't solve the bigger question of who's standing in the fat pool.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
So
at this point, yes, we have multiple ways in which to put the gold back into place, but our conundrum is a pool of human fat with multiple larvae inside of it. However, at the same time, our assumption is it not that once the ward is back in place, perhaps these larvae will no longer be a threat, as whatever allowed them to be free will be put back into place, and they'll be bound once again.
That's
so
the
how
idea.
are you gonna keep them at bay?
Just be
So-
fast.
All of us protecting the one, putting the gold back in place.
It is true. There are 3 of them and 4 of us. If we can focus our efforts and buy time.
We've come together this far. Let's continue.
So me and Daniel have the highest strengths, right?
Probably.
I believe it's me and you, Clive.
I've got
How
a
strong
55
is
for strength.
I have
I'm
a
75.
Oh, fuck you guys, man.
Seven.
Shit.
That camera's really heavy, you know?
It's true.
Yeah.
Probably is. It's the size of his head in the 20s.
Nah,
That
it's
was
this big.
one of the
It
stronger ones
but it
back
had
then.
actually compact cameras in.
Yeah,
in
but the
20s.
flash is the size of your head.
No,
It's like a satellite dish.
Oh.
So
I
I
looked
guess
it
we'll
up.
give
It's
it
fine.
to the strongest of you.
It's not the camera that they use in Back to the Future 3.
Yeah, it's not the 1800. Okay, let's
But
try
I,
to.
but I do want you to have a flash pan camera.
Well, 1,000%.
All right. So you guys hold it into place, and I'll keep these guys off of your backs.
No fire.
No fire, just firing at them.
Okay. Or
I
consider
have-
sharpshooting them.
I have my crowbar.
Would at what level? How ignitable is all of this? Is a muzzle flash going to create a fire that will asphyxiate us all?
No.
No. Okay. Well, then in that case, Mr. Lombardi, would these be of assistance to you? And I will hand him 2 38s. You know, it's more firepower for you if needed.
I'm good with a rifle or a shotgun, either way.
Fair enough. Can't get rid of these fucking handguns.
Oh,
Why do you
for
wanna get rid of
shooting,
them?
what would I would use? Oh, I don't have any trained firearm skills, so I would probably be using my crowbar or
Yeah.
the machete.
Yeah.
By default, you'll have like a 20% with handgun, like I do.
So who's
Not
going
very
to the
good.
pool of filth?
So Clive. So Clive, you have the 75 strength, which means you're the most brute force able to bend this gold back into place.
Mm-hmm.
So the 3 of us need to fight the larva while you do that. Is that the idea?
I think that's what we can do. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is a terrible plan. Let's do it.
All right.
You climb
Actually,
in
did
the
you
pool
wanna
of filth.
Actually, hold on 1 second. Before we do that, excuse me. Would anyone like to join me very quickly? I'm going to scout out how much of the thing behind us collapsed. Do we want to at least see how stuck we are, and if there might be a way that, like, I don't know. It's the thought. I don't know if that.
It depends on how far back it caved in, because
You don't
if
know,
we have
you'd
to walk all the
scout
way
it
back.
out.
Yeah. I
Right.
say screw it. Why? we're here. So
We
also,
already know it's caved in.
Okay.
Can,
Alright.
can Sydney sharpshoot the things, the larva?
He could try.
I can
mean,
try.
All right.
I will say this. Ultimately, I hit about 50. I'm about 50-50 on my shots. I hit half as much as I shoot.
Same.
800's only 50-50 shots.
Well, you want to aim for this one. You're gonna take a shot.
All right.
All
Filth
right.
swimmer, enter the pool.
Well, hold on. So we'll do that first. I will attempt 3 aimed shots, trying to.
They will be hard if you do it now. If you wait till
I can-
he's in
I
the
can
filth pool, they will be normal shots because they will obviously be coming towards him. Right now, they're just lazily swimming under the fat. The second someone goes in the filth pool, they surface.
Can you?
Yeah, I can help with that.
I was gonna say, can you take time to aim and make it an easier
Sure.
shot?
It's in
Reminds
this
me of
case.
Stargate.
In this case, it's not going to help if you shoot
Okay.
at them under the fat.
Okay.
But yes,
And,
there is an aim. There is an aim
once
rule.
they
Yes,
surface,
in the
yeah.
game.
Okay.
Yeah, if me and
that's fine.
Daniel go in, and
All right. Yeah. Then in that case, yeah, we'll do that.
all right, cool.
Filth swimmers,
know it'll
enter
help?
the pool.
I enter the pool.
The maggot surface. Sydney, take your shot.
Ready? Aim! Fire! Yes. Right on the
Sydney blows
fucking
one away.
money.
Daniel, take your shot. Left
Kaboom.
left barrel. Right barrel. Right barrel, Daniel.
Can I use my bonus?
Yes.
Ha!
Oh, right
Finger
barrel.
that
Nice.
motherfucker. Ready for you.
Right barrel.
Oh, I get another one? Yay.
In this instance, there'd be no reason not to give one barrel to each maggot.
Right. If you hit this one, we get all 3.
Ah. Fuck.
One
Use both your
barrel of
bonus
perfect.
Push. What did you say?
Did you use both of your bonus die?
I only got one,
He's
remember?
only got
'Cause I
one
used
left.
one.
He used, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could try to push the roll. I don't think I have that much luck.
I don't know.
I was gonna say
Maybe
we've
you do.
taken out 2/3 of these things. Push, we might.
Can
lose
Jackson
this one.
fire? Can Jackson take a shot?
He's gonna, but not till you're done.
Fuck. Well, I failed the other shot, so. Damn it.
No pushing? Got it.
Hazel's also there. She can.
Hazel
whack
can-
it.
I've
I don't want to push it because if I miss, that's really bad.
Jackson blows the
Yeah.
last one away.
Oh.
I was hoping to take a swing at it with my crowbar.
Yeah, it would have been what was next. And that would have been great if you'd failed. Oh god, he's drowning, you knocked him out!
Oh god.
Oh god.
You step in,
Quickly.
you step in,
Someone's-
Clive, and you
someone
sink
save
all
him.
the way up to your, almost to your nipples. That shit is 4 feet deep.
Reload.
That is gross.
And it's sticky, like when you step, it's like slurp. Slurp.
I'm sorry. What?
I'm not gonna repeat that.
Squelching!
That's
Oatmeal.
not what the picture showed.
It does not show you how deep it is, no.
Squelch,
You're
squelch,
holding the gold in
squelch.
place and you're like, for the love of God, man, hammer it in.
Use your camera. Hammer it in.
Strength rolls. Wait, who's crossing the filth pool to
Yeah,
hammer
there it
from
is.
the other side?
We were told one person could do this.
Yes, once somebody's in the filth and dealt with the maggot, then somebody else can cross over and you can push in the sides, left and right.
That would be you, Sydney, Mr. Strong Guy, McGee.
One of you
I
has
will
to
go-
push from the left, one has to push from the right. It's 10 feet wide.
I will go. I will go push.
Slurp!
Reload.
Oh god! Slurp!
Nice.
Boom!
The word is hammered in place, and as soon as it does, the whole thing vibrates, and from very far away you hear a very strange, sticky, wet sound that's like a gross roar from a stomach.
Intestinal
And,
grumbling.
and dust comes from all the cracks in the place, and everything settles. And then farther ahead of you, you hear a screaming sound, like something in horrible pain. Something something a lot smaller and much closer. Maybe that other vampire.
Obviously, the father of maggots, 10 to 11 inches at most.
Yeah. Yeah. Get me out of this place.
As the place settles, the gold on the sides of the ward actually merges into the piece that's broken supernaturally. And all the runes light up in like this blue color, like what's the word I'm looking for? Cerulean blue. All up and down as far as you can see.
Not the word I would have tried to help you find.
And then as the crack starts to close, it briefly widens for a second like something's resisting. And then it starts closing again rapidly. But Clive, you look in that crack as it widens. Sanity roll.
I didn't look in a crack.
You're standing right in front.
Did not look in a
you're
crack.
standing right in front of it when you're holding the gold bar in place.
Are you role-playing Clive or am I role-playing Clive? Because Clive's not looking at any cracks.
You see that?
Yes.
You see that picture? See that picture?
The intrepid reporter won't look in a crack. Yep,
No,
Kills, man. Crack
No,
kills.
This does need
come out of crack.
This does need an explanation. You see the picture with the white filth on the wall, right?
Right.
It's coming out of a crack. You're
Right.
standing right in
But
front
I'm
of it,
not
holding.
looking.
You can't not look at
I'm
it.
looking at the beautiful cerulean blue
Yes,
stuff.
covering the
It's
crack
cool.
that's 8 inches wide. Sanity roll.
Everybody or just him?
After all of that,
Push it.
critical
Push it.
failure.
Push it.
You can't push
Was it real good?
sanity.
You can
No, you
push
can't
this
push
one.
luck.
You can push this one.
You can
Doom.
go fuck yourself, DF, for making me look at a goddamn crack.
Hey.
Oh no.
Push it real good.
Dun, 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 dun.
You were never able to really put into words what you saw to anyone.
But I'll try.
Unless you ever decide to write a journal before you throw yourself out a window at some point 20 years in the future.
Right.
You managed to hold on to the gold bar for dear life, even though all you want to do is drop it and run screaming. That's what the sanity roll was for. Should have said power. That's my bad. I wanted to scare you. As you look into the crack, you see it. You see the father of maggots. It's the size of a small...
Is he 10 to 12 inches at all?
It's the size... It's the size of a small town. Like, you can see straight down, because as it rides, it lights everything up. And you can see...
How small is the
quite
town?
This temple... This temple goes down... This temple goes
Not a
down
fucking police circus.
hundreds of feet before it hits the bottom.
Okay.
Your best guess, in case you ever want to tell Sydney, is that it's probably 900 yards by 800 yards.
Oh, God.
And that's not the
10 to
bottom.
1200 yards at most.
That's the top of it. You don't know how deep it goes. Stories.
Yeah.
And it is just one massive writhing pool of maggots that, like, it looks towards the crack and it forms an eyeball and it looks at you as the crack closes.
Oh god, I'm dying.
Why didn't you punch it? You had a perfect opportunity to punch the eyeball.
Yeah, he could have leapt through that 8-inch crack and gone down 20
Yeah.
stories to the monster.
That's-
Oh, oh
Three
gosh.
Stooges style. Noink.
10 to 12 cent blocks at most.
All of the fat is sucked into the crack, and now you're just standing in a 10 by 4 foot hole in the floor.
Okay.
That's the fastest way I've ever lost weight.
Come back, adipose babies.
Mr. Caldwell,
I think we need a doctor.
are you okay?
You alright? Yeah, right there, Doc.
Good.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, good.
Good.
I
know
think
what?
I think he could use some of your moonshine.
You know what, Sydney?
I'll
You're
use-
right.
Get
10
out
to
of here.
12 inches. 10 to 12 inches. Totally 10 to 12 inches. Not a deep abyss of nothingness. And then, yeah, 10 to 12, yeah, 10 to 12 inches. I'm gonna need a lot of that moonshine.
Good thing I brought a bunch.
You head deeper in to find what that screaming was.
Can we?
Yeah, sure. Well,
I-
we
yeah,
have to
that's-
get out of
that's
it.
for-
It appears to be the only way out is in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Cautiously.
You head
Perhaps we'll
forward,
have
no
to
longer needing
scale
the torches.
temple.
You no longer need the torches because all the walls are lit by the cerulean blue of the ward.
Oh, cool.
It creates a dim pulsing light. It's slowly
Cool.
fading, but it's going to take hours to fade back to nothingness. Ultimately, you come out into a chamber that looks like it was a room originally used to work maybe the ward itself. You see flat pallets of straw everywhere. And you see Karasiri everywhere, shriveled up and twisted in horrible poses of pain, like just dead, withered away. When the ward was put back into place, they've returned to corpses they always were.
Recent dead. There were multiple. How many of them were there?
7.
See? If we
7.
came into the front door, 7 fucking vampires. Holy shit.
Right?
What you
Okay.
see when you get in
What
here, though,
the
isn't
fuck?
just motionless corpses and mats. You also realize this is where they worked the ward. The chamber
The
is a
what?
plain stone-lined room, maybe 30 by 30 feet. Piled high with coins, jewelry, watches, artifacts, and gold bars.
Hazel.
Take your pick.
Hazel very graciously returns the ring to Mr. Jackson.
What would you like? A bracelet, a pendant, a necklace, a ring?
Wait, is this
Sure,
gold
gold.
cursed?
I was going to say, Miss Murphy, perhaps we should not take any of
No,
this.
no, this is the gold that they were using to make the ward. If anything, it's the opposite of cursed.
I get that. However, I'm standing in the middle of a pulsating blue temple, having fought bat-sucking vampires, and being told that there's a king of maggots that is 10 to 12 inches, no more.
Jackson tells you he feels like it's safe to take as much of this as we can.
I look it over. Like, is there anything distinctive about it? Is like,
Except its value, no. This is
Hey,
the
look, it's a
treasure.
watch.
This is the treasure Larkin had promised you all.
As I
Hazel
take a
will
watch.
just settle for a pendant.
Hazel does just settle for a pendant.
As the
No!
It's got spooks on it.
Tiny,
Shit. Just a
tiny,
pendant.
tiny,
Okay.
tiny, teeny
You find
tiny.
a very nice, tiny, petite pendant.
As the resident capitalist, I do advise against taking anything from this place.
Does
Oh, we're
anyone
not.
listen-
We're just
does anyone-
borrowing it, boss.
Why?
Does anyone listen to this guy?
no.
Okay.
I'm stuffing gold coins and watches in my backpack.
I can't help but feel as though the risk of the reward here does not outweigh the risk here. We can all return to our fortunes. We can all return to our penthouses that we already have. This money is not needed.
Sure. What would you?
They're
whatever
looking
you
at
say,
you and
boss.
nodding while they stuff their pockets.
And then the 1%er tried to tell us about capitalism and pouring more wealth
I
into
put
this
a-
that can't handle it.
I find a watch and a gold watch and I just like, hey, I can use a timepiece. Wrap it around my wrist.
So, because
I
you
don't
did not,
think
there's no way you can get this all out of here right now. Jackson says he'll arrange for the bulk to be dealt with. However, also you did not bring mules, but that does mean you are still able to carry out $3,000 worth of gold each
Wow.
We are
in
rich.
1920s money.
Plenty money.
What about Sydney? You gonna leave that behind? That's a lot of money. It's a lot of stocks. It's a lot of capital tax.
Yeah, why don't you want to take the gold?
It's cursed.
Because Steve understands that this is probably just the reward for the adventure. However, Sydney is under the impression that the gold removed from here has allowed vampires to run loose for hundreds of years, and made a crack that the god or the prince of maggots has been using to feed itself and ultimately probably escape and destroy the world. So maybe don't take no gold from here.
I'm just taking a watch, I swear.
I don't understand that logic.
I can't explain it any better.
No, say it again. Like what?
He's basically saying like you shouldn't take the gold because they need the gold to hold the vampire thing in place in the temple. So if it breaks or whatever, then they have no gold
The-
to use.
Who's snapping this thing back into place? Like who like this? As far as I know, like this piece we've had was what the conquistadors pulled out long ago.
And they
that is
didn't have
That is what you're
watches.
assuming, yes.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who's melting gold and putting shit back in place?
Vampires?
Why would they do that?
Nobody. No, nobody's doing that. I think his concern is that the vampire cult is still alive and well, and they might try to come back to
No.
unseal seal.
Sydney's concern is that we just went through a lot of stuff to put gold back into this temple to stop the badness. And now we're about to leave with a lot of gold from the temple, which as soon as that gold crosses the threshold, who knows? Now, you're probably right. The ward itself is probably all that needs to be in place. But maybe don't take the gold from the evil temple that's going to release the god of maggots.
I think Sydney is a capitalist and doesn't want us introducing new gold and worth into the economic system, thus deflating
I do have
his wealth worth.
I do have several concerns of the sudden influx of coffers.
I'm with you, boss. Totally.
I'm not-
Can I just have
I'm-
a watch?
I'm not sure that you all
There's
know
no
how to.
watches.
Those conquistador watches, yes, you may have one.
It's
no.
a sundial on your wrist.
There you go.
Well,
It's a gold
while
sundial.
While I appreciate the need for valuables, and I trust that you all would inject them properly into the economy, I'm not sure you know how to properly invest this money or how to properly take care
Sydney.
of this wealth.
Sydney.
However, I'm more
Sydney.
concerned
Sydney.
about the maggots.
Sydney.
You all look up and
Sydney.
see Jackson leaving with a giant pile of gold while you talk.
There that goes.
He did it.
Sydney, you will
Like
have
all
to
the-
pry
I'll see
the
you guys at
pendant
the alpacas.
from my cold dead body.
I see. Well, in that case, if they're all gonna take it, I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Because
Get your
once gold's left,
$3,000 worth
who
of deer.
cares?
3,000 in gold.
3, 6, 9, 12.
And Jackson will take care of the rest.
Oh yes.
I make
Wow.
sure to provide him my banking information.
Okay. In conclusion of the prologue, as the heroic investigators head out and the camera fades out as the sun sets on a now quiet, empty plateau, once again at peace. You have successfully repaired the ward of the pyramid. The cult of the Karasiri dies out almost immediately, although it takes months for most people to realize that they no longer struck the highlands. Even then, the myth remains for generations. For now, the threat of the father of maggots is ended.
For now.
Elias writes up his experiences in Peru as a book called The Hungry Dead, written in 1923. Building on this work, he decides to investigate Larkin's background further. Perhaps this will lead to future things. Over the next 4 years, Elias keeps in contact with all of you and you with each other. You become good friends bound by your horrors, sending each other letters and suggesting that he may once again need your help in the future.
How do I check the mail?
Well, you do have $3,000 now.
Yes,
Perhaps
you can
take
afford
out
a P.O. box.
Fair enough. All right.
I prefer to think that Sydney adopted him.
I was gonna say, Mr. Lombardi, if you require, I can assist you in setting up basic communication lines.
You do
Okay. Like a
you are-
telegram.
You are made aware that Elias does clean out the rest of the treasure from the temple and uses it to fund his further work on investigating deeper into this Larkin monster.
I'm okay with that.
You
Monsters
have
are real.
essentially successfully completed this in the best way possible. As such,
Oh, really?
for killing or defeating D. Mendoza, roll a d6 and recover that many sanity points. All of you.
Sweet.
Yay!
I got a full 6. Oh yeah.
Nice.
4.
Oh, whoops.
Back up to full.
This is sanity, you said?
Yes, sanity points. Max is
Ha
99.
ha ha!
Max is 99. You can
Awesome.
go over your initial start.
Okay.
For killing and defeating Augustus Larkin, roll a d4 and add that many sanity points.
1.
You said I can go above my max. Does that become?
Your power does not change. You just have more sanity points than your power now.
Oh.
Wait, are we doing power or sanity?
Sanity. Your power doesn't increase. Your sanity points increase. Your power is only your starting sanity.
Oh, right. That's right.
For restoring the ward and destroying the Karasiri, roll a d8 and add that many sanity points.
Whoa.
Full 8.
Nice. What?
Feel so much better after that. Nice.
Sean, you got to do it. You have to. Oh, you didn't
What?
know.
He was
Yeah,
gonna
I rolled
hope
7.
for the full 8s.
I thought we were gonna roll all 8s. Oh.
So
Sorry.
close.
Wow. I went back. Got higher than normal.
And
Me
as
too.
4 years are going to pass, taking you from 1919 to 1924, you have a development phase.
Oh, cool.
So let's start with Sydney, because he's on my left. Sydney, each of your check skills, roll them.
Okay.
If you
Fail.
fail
right?
this roll, you can raise them.
Boom.
Okay, there you go.
Look at you.
What do I raise it by?
Wait, let me make sure that's right. I don't want to mix this up with Delta Green.
Okay. I'm pretty sure if you have to fail it.
Usually how that goes.
No, you have to roll over to improve it.
Yeah.
Right,
Which
which
we
is a
fail.
failure.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, you can now raise that skill by 1d10 points.
Nice.
Whoops. 7.
Roll.
Nice.
And then go ahead and go down all of yours.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna just write these down really quick. So
Yep.
charm goes up by 7.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each of you roll once. So Sydney, you stop there. So people
Okay.
can watch, and then we'll do the rest offline, because there's going to be a lot of them. So Hazel, roll your first checked one.
Okay, let's see. I'll go with charm.
Failure, roll a d10.
Nice.
Oh wait, no, that's good.
You had 9
Hey,
points to
that's
charm.
awesome.
Wow.
Clive,
Nice.
Very nice.
Didn't get better at that photography.
you did not. And Dan.
Kind of hard. In alphabetical order, I think it's going to be fast talk.
Okay, roll it.
Yep.
Nice.
Roll 1d10.
Nice.
5. All right.
Yeah.
And there's something else that can happen in a developer phase. Normally it's one of these 3 things. As 4 years pass, I will allow you to each do all of them once. First, gain sanity points through spending time with an aspect of your backstory. Each of you, starting with Sydney, tell me what aspect of your backstory you will spend time with to ground yourself.
Honestly, I mean, I think he would just be going back and spending a lot of time reading about other cultures, a lot of time in the library, but then also setting up other expeditions to places that don't have crazy weird monsters. So basically, vaguely hidden vacations.
Okay. Make a sanity roll. If you succeed, you will gain sanity points. Roll 1d6 and add that many sanity points.
Awesome.
Hazel,
go.
tell us
That-
what aspect of your backstory.
She's gonna go home for a little bit and just spend some time away from all the crazy, just messing with her automobiles and being in the countryside of England.
Okay. Roll your sanity. You fail, which means you do not gain any sanity, but you also don't lose any.
At least there's that.
Clive!
So Clive procrastinated to write a puff piece about Larkin,
Okay.
and his rival Cardo Ricky Rathbone actually did write the puff piece. So he actually goes back, writes like an expose on Larkin and being a crazy cultist, and like publishes that, and then goes and has a couple of beers with Rathbone and just rubs it in his face.
Nice.
Roll sanity.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Roll a d6 and add that many points. Dan.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, obviously, he's going to have to go back and check on his old war buddy, Charlie Mikulski, who's probably in the psych ward or wherever it was, or in the hospital because he was shell-shocked.
Right?
So he goes back and tells him, he's like, hey, buddy, have I got a story to tell you? But he does, when he shows up, he's in a nice suit, finally.
Oh.
Nice. Roll sanity.
All right. Let's see here. Yeah.
Yes.
Roll a d6.
6. 1. Fair enough. 27
Every little bit
sanity.
helps.
Yeah.
Okay. The second thing that can happen in development phase is reviewing finances if there's been a major change, which there has for all of you. In this case, it's the change, I'm rich! All of you roll a d10 and that many points to your credit rating for your windfall.
Nice.
Even me?
Even you.
7.
You're a good investor,
7.
Steve.
Nice.
Or
Aha!
Sydney.
Wow.
Wow, Hazel. You invested wisely.
She invested in airplanes, maybe. I don't know.
As
Where do we put
long
that
as
in?
it's
in
not
the possession?
Zeppelins. This increases your credit rating, Eric.
Oh, by that number?
Yes.
Ah, okay, I got it.
And last but not least. Oh my goodness. My book jumped.
No.
Oh no!
Last but not least, you can reduce all of your insanity thresholds by 1 because you're getting used to the awfulness. So whatever your threshold number was for when you hit your phobia, which for all of you was 6, it's now 7.
Where is
You
that?
have to lose 7 sanity points before you get a temporary or long-term mania.
Oh,
from one roll.
nice.
And so
Okay,
get used to
okay.
the awfulness.
Is that
Alright.
recorded anywhere?
You just have to find a good place to put it. It doesn't have a spot on the sheet because it's a weird thing.
There's a phobias and manias portion under backstory. You might be able to put
Yeah,
it
that
in
might
there.
work there, yeah.
Yeah.
And between sessions, everyone will add their skills, and then when we begin the next session, we will review characters before beginning the meat of the campaign and see who wants to change what. But as this session comes to a close, always remember, if the book contains knowledge man was not meant to know, don't read it! If the hallway is dark and looks treacherous, don't go in! And most importantly, save the last bullet for yourself. Good night, everyone.
Oh, wow.